Walloping web snappers, Rude Nation. It's time once again for the RudeBoyz Power Hour Plus. Pause for applause, everybody. Hold, please. Yay. Thanks, Tom. I don't know if you're clapping for the episode or for my misfortune. Yep, there it is. Fantastic. This is Johnny Steamroller, Sherm, as you all know. I'm joined once again by my partner in crime,
the Steamrollee,
the Steamroller, and the Steamrollee. Tommy Cash, everybody.
Woo!
Yeah, give it up for Tommy Cash. And we're here once again, episode 166 of the RudeBoyz Power Hour Plus. Tom, what is the topic of today's episode?
We are going to fix the Sony Spider-Man Extended Direct Universe, whatever the fuck they're calling it.
So we are, okay, full disclosure. We're dragging our feet to seeing Madam Web. We have not seen it yet as per recording. There's still plans, but okay. It's a wet dog fart. It's bad. From what we heard, we don't know. We don't know for sure. But it's not looking too good.
Everything I've...
Right.
Oh, boy.
I think since...
Is that supposed... Oh, never mind.
What happened?
My ice cube stuck to my straw.
That's what happens. Ever since the first Venom movie, it's been just a decline of quality with Sony, excluding the cartoons. So what we're going to try to do is we've got some ideas of what Sony can do in the whatever parameters they have with the Spider-Man license to fix or to do better. To do better. I'm not going to say fix. I'm going to say to do better.
Yeah.
Something I would like to see, something hopefully the nation would like to see, instead of just... Who asked for a Madam Web movie? I don't know. Who asked for a Morbius movie? I don't know.
Who asked for a Craven movie?
Yeah, there you go.
Who knows? Craven could be good. Probably not.
Given their track record, I don't know.
Yeah.
So that's...
Outlook, not good.
Yeah, right? Magic 8 Ball.
Yeah.
Not good. Magic 8 Ball killed itself. Is Magic 8 Ball's a character, right? Is
yes.
Yep, there you go.
They are going to be in the...
They?
I'm sorry.
It's a crew?
No.
Wasn't Magic 8 Ball also like it wasn't a Venture Brothers villain? Was it Venture Brothers?
I think the character is going to be showing up in Blood Hunt, which I'm going to talk about opinions of Blood Hunt.
I'm curious about that. I think it's just edgy, but whatever.
Yeah.
Listen, if it's
we'll talk about it when we get to
Marvel
comics.
Universe romp.
Yeah.
Then I'll be okay. Was it on the notes?
No, but shut the fuck up.
And
who's in our mouth, Chris? Shut up.
Tom, this is LA Water.
Yeah, what is in this?
So 2 years ago,
looking thing.
As per recording, it's on my sweatshirt now. I made this drink. It's a riff on a Long Island iced tea. It has a shitload of booze in it, so that means it's got tequila and vodka and rum and gin. It also has Midori, which is melon liqueur, blue.
Sour!
Yeah, which is orange liqueur. Chambord, which is raspberry liqueur. It's got some sweet and sour. It's got some simple syrup and some lemon. Orange juice in this case, because I had orange juice, hence the pulp that's floating. And we topped it off with some old Fresca. Do they make Fresca anymore?
I don't know.
Who knows?
Was that can even not expired?
Nobody know.
Okay.
It's too late now, buddy. We're going to take this journey. LA Water. Clink it up. What do you got, Tommy?
There's a lot going on in my mouth.
Is there? It seems very, it seems sweet.
It's very sweet.
Yeah.
I taste the Midori.
Yes, the Midori is, I think, the standout flavor.
And the Fresca.
That's weird. Okay. But you're the taste victim. You have the taste buds.
And the orange.
Power. Okay. I mean, there's orange juice and orange liqueur with the blue curacao. So
Curacao!
Yep, there it is.
Yeah, this drink is fucking dangerous.
Yep, hence why I kind of put everything away. You know, I packed everything up, and so... But we'll see. We'll see what the night takes us.
Yeah.
We've already done some recording already. We got some more recording going on.
And then even more recording going on.
A little more after that.
Maybe.
But right now, Nation, what's movie Blitzkrieg news? I just started hearing myself, and I'm like, what the fuck?
And he's only had one sip.
Yeah.
And one...
High noon.
High noon.
Yep.
Starting off in games as we always do. Chris, tell us about the Nintendo Partner Direct.
This was in my mind. This was going to be a big deal. No, it was like when it happened, it was good. I was in Florida at the time, and I was just checking the highlights. I wasn't watching it, and I edited the podcast, the last episode, the Trading the Backs, and I specifically put in. I was like, we're going to talk about this next episode, and since then to now, I completely forgot all about it. My big takeaway for the Nintendo Partner Direct.
Switch 2.
No, not Switch 2.
Oh.
Is they confirmed a lot of the Microsoft games coming over to Nintendo Switch, and then it also opened up the door for all this other stuff. So they specifically called out 2 games, Grounded and Pentiment, which are both Xbox first-party games. Both are available through Game Pass, so if you have Xbox Game Pass, maybe on PC, but definitely on the console, you have access to these games already. But now you can play Grounded and Pentiment on the Nintendo Switch, and I think also PS4 and 5. But over on the Sony side, you can play those games, and you're going to be able to play Hi-Fi Rush, which is excellent. Everybody should play that. It's not excellent. It's very, very, very good. And Sea of Thieves, which people get boners on. But not for me.
Sea of Thieves I watched my brother play for a little bit. It was fun.
The game glitched during my tutorial. I wanted to play the Monkey Island stuff, and I was just like, I'm done with this.
I made him capsize his boat.
That sounds about right.
And then we got killed.
Okay. Oh, you played with him?
Huh? Well, directing him.
Oh, boy.
Yeah.
You were the man in the chair?
Terrible.
Was. The man in the...
Crow's Nest.
Crow's Nest. Thank you. That's good.
Thanks, One Piece.
Okay. I was going to say, like, how the fuck did you just pull out Crow's Nest?
I know pirate lingo.
Another thing similar to these Microsoft deals is that we got more games that are developed by Rare out on through the... I mean, they're rare enough that we just got them, I guess. But I think they're available on Rare Replay. Killer Instinct for Super Nintendo, Battletoads, Battlemaniacs for Super Nintendo.
Battletoads, man, you want to talk fucking just trauma.
You got Shake, Rattle, and Roll, or Snake, Rattle, and Roll, whatever. RC Pro-Am and Blast Corps on the Nintendo Switch online stuff, which is pretty cool. I think a lot of those were on Rare Replay, but I'm not too sure. I know they had a version of Killer Instinct. I don't know if it was Killer Instinct Gold. Are you all right?
So, it like... As you drink it
Tommy's
more...
liking the LA water.
As you drink it more, you're just like...
Ooh,
you start
new flavors.
Yeah, exactly.
Tommy's tasting the rainbow right now.
Ride the rainbow. Ride the snake.
Ride the snake. I remember that bit. Other than that, not really much after that. Bigger, though, they did Pokemon Day, which I'm segueing into that portion of Blitzkrieg news.
Oh, new Pokemon Legends game coming 2025.
That's the big thing. So everybody was coming into this Pokemon Day thinking that we were going to get some sort of remakes of Gen 2. Johto stuff. You know, you got your Woopers and your Togepis and your Unknowns and everything like that, and your Entei and your Yanmas.
You just keep talking.
Yep. It's Pokemon. Keep talking about Pokemon.
What the fuck?
So everybody was thinking we were going to get that, except we got swerved, and we got a new Pokemon Legends game that's going to take place...
Whose house?
Swerve's house. We got a new Pokemon Legends game going to take place in Kalos, which is the XY Gen 6 version, which I dug X and Y when that came out for 3DS. So that's cool. Pokemon Legends was great. Probably one of the better Pokemon games that came out in the last generation. Okay. I think Sword and Shield and Scarlet and Violet were like meh at best. But excited for Legends.
Okay.
Also download Pokemon Sleep. It's cute.
What?
Well, it's not on my list, but continue.
TMT Arcade, the not great one, coming 4/23. To what?
This to all systems.
Oh.
This is the one that was put out by Raw Thrills, which is, you know, what the ladies call me. Exactly.
Good.
That's what the ladies call me. Womp womp.
Yeah.
This is the one that's out in Dave and Buster's. Yeah, Dave and Buster's is a thing still. Dave and Buster's. It's kind of it's a beat 'em up, but it's not the best, especially after Shredder's Revenge. But it's new Ninja Turtles, technically, you know, for some people. And it has the art style of the 2012 cartoon, the CG one. Was that 2012? 2018?
Was that the one that I like? No.
You like the cell shaded, not the cartoon. Not the computer graphic cartoon.
Right, the one that was after the original series.
Yes, the one that was on Foxbox.
Yeah, Foxbox, and then on...
This was the first one that
Nickelodeon
dealt
WB
with.
Kids.
Was it on WB Kids?
It went to WB Kids,
Wow,
yeah,
shit.
yeah.
What a fucking, man. Back in the day, man, when shit like that happened, it was like the Monday Night Wars all over again. Chris Jericho would jump over, Rick Rude would be on 2 shows. It was crazy. What else we got?
Elden Ring DLC hitting June 21st for those who like it.
That's not me.
I just put it on there for anyone that listens.
That's nice of you, Tom.
I know.
Sometimes we do that. We do that for the nation. That is relevant to the nation's interests.
Yeah. Shit ton of layoffs at Sony affecting Insomniac, Naughty Dog, also EA apparently.
I don't like that you put this in here because that means now I have to get on my high horse.
No, I know, but
you're baiting me, aren't you?
No, I'm generally interested in what you have to say.
I think, and we've been seeing this for a while. Layoffs in the video game industry have just been ramping up. Games, I would have to say, since the turn between the PS2 Xbox generation to the PS3 360 generation, have just been becoming more and more expensive to make, and you really cannot make games substantially or self-sustain. I don't know what I'm trying to say. You really need to knock it out of the motherfucking galaxy to really be successful. Case in point, after the latest Tomb Raider trilogy, not the one that just got re-released, but the one that was like the reboot, that one Square Enix bought Eidos, which is another thing too. Corporate mergers are really tough because they start looking at the bigger pictures that may not even get there.
Right.
So when the Tomb Raider franchise sold millions, was considered a failure, that's when people are like, what the fuck are we doing? You know what I mean? Like, that's insane. Like, I understand the rising costs. Like, listen, I'll beat the horse of manufactured inflation left and right. Video games have been something in North America, in the United States specifically. I know they're crazy elsewhere. How we're paying maybe $70, $80. Guys, we were paying that in 92 for fucking Kirby's Avalanche. Like, you know, like games were expensive always. They only got cheaper when they moved to the CD format and then got more and more expensive. But I digress. The thing is, it's hard to sustain these models. Fortnite was a once-in-a-million thing. Minecraft, a once-in-a-million thing that people are able to... I'm not keeping it Blitzkrieg. But people are chasing these fucking dragons that don't exist. They're hard to make, you know what I mean? Compounded with the fact that it is incredibly easy for corporations to shutter and fire non-unionized American workers. You don't get that in Europe. Europe, you actually need to have a year's notice that, yes, this company's shutting down. Japan, they don't have that. Japan, they have insane worker protection. But a lot of that is also just intrinsically tied to the American model of how things work. What are you going to do? And it sucks. And what's going to unfortunately happen is people are saying it's like there's going to be a video game crash soon. Like, it's just going to happen. Like, you think that, like, PS5 and Xbox and, you know, even PS4, all these successful consoles, they're not successful in the eyes of the corporations. And they need to answer to the shareholders. They don't have to answer to you, the consumer. They don't have to answer to the employees and the workers working on these systems. They have to answer. If you pull in $1 billion one year and you pull in $1,000,000,001 the next, yeah, you're successful, but you're not as successful. So what happens? Cut the fat. Have a computer do your job. What's the Dusty Rhodes gimmick? A computer did your job. That's a terrible Dusty Rhodes impression. I think his spirit left me. But that's really what it comes down to. I
Drink
think it's
more, he'll come back.
Yeah, I know he will.
Now here's something. Like,
go ahead, Tommy. What do we got?
Is it necessary for these companies to be coming out with these high-end systems?
Is it necessary?
But
no, it's expected. That's the problem.
But, like, yet they can still make...
Look at Nintendo. Nintendo's technology... I'm sorry, I'm steamrolling. But Nintendo's technology is at least 2 generations old.
Exactly. And I feel the Switch is still selling, I feel.
Yes. Yes, it is.
So,
hence why they haven't announced the second one, because once you announce the new guy, nobody buys the old guy anymore.
So it's like...
Also hasn't gotten a price cut either. Like, they're doing great.
Yeah.
But they're the anomaly. They're in Japan. Also, all Japanese companies are also... They operate differently than American-based companies.
Sony did not... I feel Sony did not need to come out with a PS5.
They're expected to. That's the problem.
Because of us. Because of society.
Because of society, because of just how things go. I'm going to pause real quick. All right, we're back. Eat the rich. Fucking bring out the guillotines. Well, I don't know what else to say.
I just think...
Well, I'm sorry. I don't mean to diminish. You were saying, was there a reason? I think they're expected at a certain point. The definition of a corporation is a entity that has to constantly show growth.
I understand.
So their way of showing growth is every 5 years or whatever it is, 8 years, they have to bring out new hardware because that's what's expected. You know what I mean? That's just the model they're in. And now because Sony and Microsoft are, they're basically breathing down each other's necks, one can't do something without the other. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Like, you can't have Microsoft just start putting out new consoles left and right and Sony being like, wow, PS5 is still pretty good. Because the average consumer is going to look at the new hotness and be like, well, that's what I want. You know what I mean? Nintendo, how they were able to get out of that game, I guess with the Wii, they just kind of shook them into their own...
So we as the consumers are the problem. Part of the problem.
Part of the problem, but it's also like it's they live. It's eat, obey, buy, consume. We're being told this without even knowing it. You know what I mean? I'm sure if people would love, we'd be perfectly fine with the PS5, dude. Like you're gonna get. Listen, GTA 5 is coming. GTA 5 came out 11 years ago. GTA 6 is coming out next year. That is going to be a shot in the arm for a lot of the gaming industry.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? This is going to be a very lean year. It just is what it is. The Switch is going to be in between stuff. Sony's already said that, like, listen, we got nothing. So, so get used to it, bitch. And Microsoft are putting out their own exclusives on different consoles. Like, it's just, it's a weird time. And it's just shitty that it's on the fucking backs of the people who are ambitious and want to create. You know what I mean?
Like, which Insomniac I was surprised by because Spider-Man 2 I felt like did well.
That's the thing. You can have $1 million. You can have $1 million seller, and it's single player, well received adventure game. You get fired. You have a real shitty fucking live to service game. You're gonna get fired. Like there's no way. There's no way. Yeah, it's unsustainable.
Right.
Is the phrase I was looking for an hour ago.
So that was awesome, Blitzkrieg. Moving on to comics real quick. We talked about it briefly in the intro.
Okay.
They released the trailer for Blood Hunt. I didn't put it up for trailer talk because last time I did that, I got
comic books have trailers.
I got fucking finger wagged. Like, oh, why'd you do that? We'd never do that. Blah blah blah. Whatever.
Tom's clearly not carrying any baggage on that.
No, not at all.
No vendettas or anything.
So
like that.
their next one is like Marvel Blood Hunt. Vampires invade the Marvel universe.
Is it not the 616 though? Isn't it like just a non-canonical?
Is it
like a zombies?
Yeah.
I that's what I thought.
I always
heard,
find it funny though, like because like DC did this as well. DC did a whole vampire thing as well.
This was wasn't this Tom Taylor who did it? Because I know after
the DC's
maybe. I might be talking out of my ass.
Regardless, I always find it funny that, like, you got, like, vampires. Like, you're telling me they can't, like, Superman can't just be like, heat vision?
Well, yeah, but, like, that's not fun.
Or, like, Hyperion and Sentry can't just be like, just fucking fly through all of you, take your heads off.
That's not fun.
I know, but like,
I understand.
I find it ridiculous. Like, Marvel Zombies, I was able to buy a little more.
Right, okay.
Because, like, you get bit, you get turned into a zombie.
That's it.
Like, vampires, it's a little... Vampire, getting turned into a vampire, is a little more of a process.
You're a vampire, Mark.
As you've said every episode since this year has started.
I don't think that's true.
I'm pretty sure it has.
But
we may have to go back.
You may have to go back and prove me wrong.
No, it means I gotta listen.
So you're not going to.
Dude, I listen. I've been good. I've been listening to every episode since the beginning of the year.
The beginning of the year. It was my episode fucking 140 something. Not even. It's 66.
I know. It's been a chore.
New year, new you, I guess.
Hey, I'm helping. I'm doing my part.
I'm doing my part. I didn't do shit.
That's been for how long?
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, that's a good one right there.
It's just like it's cool if it's an. I'm pretty sure it's an alt universe, like you said.
Right? Because
I find it fucking ridiculous. Like, for fuck's sakes, I've seen Captain America's shield fucking take people's arms off. They can't take a fucking vampire's head off.
Listen, you're not wrong, especially with the wacky world of comics.
No, I know.
You're
it's
not
just
wrong, but
it looks cool. The art looks sick.
Yeah, no, it does look good. Listen, art gets me in there, so that's what's up. All right. Well,
what about Harry? Harry do anything for you?
What?
He said art gets you in there. Does Harry do anything for you?
Who's Harry? I don't understand this joke.
Art could be the name
of a guy?
Yes.
Okay. Why Harry?
I don't know. It's the name I just picked out.
Jesus Christ. Okay.
Oh, you kept saying
like, what's the joke? I don't know.
You just kept saying old white men names. Art's
okay.
Are
you like retroactively explaining this joke now? Oh my god.
Fuck these drinks. Movies. WB, DC, cool on the idea of Batman Beyond movie with the Spider-Verse guys.
Yes.
I guess WB and DC are afraid to make money.
I think it was one of those things that they just didn't.
James Gunn,
apparently the
you're
story.
A twat.
Okay, relax. I think a lot of it is first off, after the success of the Spider-Verse movies, why wouldn't you just immediately greenlight this? But whatever.
Because execs don't know what's good for their
especially
company.
the WB ones. Gracious.
That's another episode we should do.
Yeah, but they apparently the story is that these creative minds behind Spider-Verse, not the Lord and Miller, but they had an idea for a Batman Beyond movie. They came to WB, and
with an idea.
From them going with no to maybe, that still isn't like a yes, go right ahead.
Yeah.
And like they showed off some of the concept art, and it does look very Spider-Verse-y plus Batman Beyond, obviously.
Fucking dope.
It does look pretty cool. Yeah. Did you hear that Will Friedle? Am I saying his name right?
Yeah.
He's going to reprise Terry McGinnis' his role as Terry McGinnis in Crisis of Infinite Earths 3.
Yes.
Where also Kevin Conroy and Mark Hamill.
Yep.
Pretty interesting.
I have a feel they're going to be taking stock voices.
No, he actually did.
He did?
He did. I mean, don't get me wrong. With AI, boy.
That's a whole nother thing.
A whole nother thing. Oh, no, he's probably... I don't know. Is he SAG? I don't know.
Is he SAG?
I have no idea.
I would.
I was going to say something very disrespectful, but I won't because he's a good man.
Fucking!
I know. That's why I held it.
You'll just get stabbed in the eye with
That's
a fucking.
That's why I held it in.
Copper straw.
But he.
Don't get stabbed by your best friend.
That's words to live by.
Don't be stupid.
That's also words to live by. What else we got?
Liam Neeson in rebooted Naked Gun July 5th.
I'm okay with this. I like the Naked Gun movies. I like Police Squad. I like Leslie Nielsen's whole shtick. I think Liam Neeson he has very good comedic timing in things like I think he was in one of the Ted movies. He bought like a box of tricks and he's just like, is it okay if I buy this? And he's like, sure. And Ted's like, sure. And he's just like, but it says it's for kids. And it's like, yeah. And he's like, you're not going to stop me? Like, he's very funny, especially his straight, cold delivery is very funny. There's a bit with him, Ricky Gervais, and is it Stephen Merchant? I don't remember. Where they do like improv scenes. It's very funny. It's on the show Life is Short with Warwick Davis.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah. It's very funny. I think he's got a very... And Leslie Nielsen was a straight-laced actor before Police Squad, so...
Yeah.
I'm okay with it. If it's done well, sure. It's Naked Gun. Like, yeah.
You brought up Ted.
Uh-huh.
I've been seeing clips more and more of that
Right.
show, and I'm like...
Listen, the clips made it seem funny.
I
and then we
know.
sat through the first episode.
My brother and my sister-in-law sat through the first episode. They're like, why was that like a 2-hour episode?
It was so long.
They're like,
right?
what is going
so
Why was it so
like,
long?
It was so like, you know, like if you go in a pool or something,
Like, it had some
and
funny...
nothing happens. That's what nothing happens.
It had some funny bits that I chuckled at. But the kid is the thing that bugs me.
The boy?
Yeah.
Yes.
Like Mark Wahlberg.
Yes.
Like, I'm like, I want to punch this guy in the face.
Yeah, the Mark Wahlberg kid. Well, I think that's the point.
I know,
Yeah.
but
He's apparently not supposed to be doing a Boston accent. He's doing a Mark Wahlberg accent or impression, so
ugh.
there's that.
Trailer talk.
Actually.
Did you see the trailer for Borderlands?
Speaking of, this does not look cool at all.
I mean,
I have
I
no
never
love for
played the game.
Borderlands. Yeah. This movie is definitely a 10 years too late scenario, and it's brought to the minds by Uncharted and Spider-Man and Venom, which is
You
a
know what,
flex.
though?
That's a flex. Listen,
I liked Uncharted.
okay, but
And
this guy had nothing. He bankrolled it. Like that's
Yeah.
it. Like he's a producer. He's not the director or the writer. He's just the man who was like, yeah, let's do a Uncharted movie 12 years after it should have happened in the first place. You know, so yeah, you're right on track with this one.
Right. I mean, the biggest ick about this movie is the fact that Jamie Lee Curtis is in it.
Oh my god. Okay.
What?
I know. Okay. I don't think that's the biggest ick. All right.
I can't have an opinion.
You're allowed to have an opinion. It's just
They're stupid.
they're stupid. It's just that they're
Ridiculous.
very misguided.
Ridiculous.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. Fine.
TV.
TV talk.
John Semper Jr. is back talking his shit, but it's
So John Semper Jr. is the showrunner for Marvel Spider-Man the animated series.
That's how you worded it.
Because I didn't know how to word it.
Like, you're just talking his shit again.
So obviously, with all this Spider-Verse talk going on, a lot of it, which came out of the woodworks, was that the creative team, which somehow also includes Amy Pascal and Avi Arad, sure. Because again, they just bankrolled it. Good job, guys. We'll talk about you later. Don't worry. They're getting I guess a lot of Oscar buzz with Across the Spider-Verse, and people obviously credit Dan Slott for the idea of the Spider-Verse and the comics. Prior to that, though, was Shattered Dimensions, which Dan Slott helped write, which was a big multiverse, bunch of Spider-Man teaming up sort of video game, which was great. But really the first instance of this is the final few episodes of Spider-Man the Animated Series, which was showrun by John Semper Jr., and he will be the first to tell you that nobody's crediting him for any sort of Spider-Verse stuff. It is what it is. I don't know what to tell you. Like, yes, Dan Slott could have gotten the idea. Yes, also Dan Slott could have just came up with it also, like, in a vacuum. Like, it's possible. What are you looking at?
You're just talking way too much, and your drink is really...
Because I'm talking right now. I don't need to wet my whistle. So John Semper's like, listen, like, he's just like, guys, just throw me a fucking bone, maybe? Like, who's the first person to put couple Spider-Man together from different old universes? Me, right here. Another thing he's talking about was that if Disney came a-knocking and wanted to have him write a Spider-Man 98...
94.
94, thank you. Well, I guess it would be 98 because didn't it end in 98?
I don't know.
Hence why this is called 97?
The article I saw said 94.
Okay. I mean, it's a fictional idea, so it doesn't matter. But a Spider-Man, the animated series continuation from the animated series, you know what I mean?
We're going to fight after this episode.
Why are we going to fight? I don't think we're fighting.
We'll see.
Oh, boy. A couple LA Waters in this guy.
One.
Not even one.
Yeah.
John Semper Jr. would say that he would write it, which, like, yeah, you'll get money from Disney. Sure, who wouldn't? But I would be down for that. Don't get me wrong. I think a lot of the fact that Marvel got the Fox properties and got the access of doing X-Men I think that definitely helps, like, the buzz. I don't think people are going to be buzzing that hard for a Spider-Man the Animated Series continuation, except the fact that it ended on a fucking shitty cliffhanger. That's really it. That's, I think, what people want to see. They want to see how it ends. Like, I don't know if there's much more to continue.
Yeah.
Apparently they had ideas for another season, but...
Of course they did.
Well, of course, you know? Like, that's just... We got it future-proof. That's it.
Moving on!
Keep it Blitzkrieg.
You keep Blitzkrieg. Wrestling news.
Wrestling news.
Nothing wrestling.
Oh, okay, cool.
Except for I just saw CM Punk's going to be at the Barclays before WrestleMania.
Okay, cool.
So... Is this all a work, brother? Was his shoulder injury?
How much did they pay for the plastic surgery?
Did you see that? Like, people are saying Austin's going to be at 40. Which, again, if he is, yo.
Stone Cold Steve Austin is apparently feuding with Post Malone in the advertisements for WWE 2K24. So I don't know what the fuck he's
Dude, if he shows up, if he's like Cody and Seth's backup, I'm cool with it.
I'd be cool with that, too.
Tama Tonga's gonna fucking cost Roman the
that's right,
title.
Tama Tonga's on his way.
And we're seeing
WWE.
We're gonna see Bloodline Civil War 2 because every time there's been a Civil War 2, it's always been good. Marvel, we're looking at you.
Can't wait for the American Civil War 2.
We're not there yet.
We're getting there.
We're getting there.
We're getting there.
That movie Civil War is gonna definitely be like a vision into the future.
You know what? You know what's funny? I saw somebody talk about that because it's based off a book, or at least the writer wrote a similar book.
Okay.
And they did it in such a way that it wasn't just, you know, red states versus blue states. Like, they made it like, all right, cultural separations. Similar to how North versus South. You know what I mean?
Gotcha.
Like, which is kind of where we're at, but still, you know, like, it was almost like what the ideologies are for regions. You know, so it was more kind of like, that's a little more scientific. Or political, poli-sci sort of stuff.
Cool.
All right, let's bum us out.
I mean,
do we have more?
We technically had 3 RIPs this week.
All right. Well, all right. Let's just get it over with.
Virgil passed away.
Michael Jones, the wrestler,
at the age of 61, which I thought he was a lot older.
You know what they say, Tom.
He tricked me.
I like how you got to make it about yourself. You can't just honor the man.
Because we can never make it through it.
No, you're right. You're right. I told my girlfriend this.
It'd be on par. It would be on par if we could. Richard Lewis,
How did he trick you? You're not going to just talk that story?
I don't know. I thought I told you it.
I don't remember.
So, get a couple of LA orders of this guy.
I don't remember, Tom.
So
I can't remember the stories of wrestlers hustling you.
I was at a Comic-Con.
Okay.
And walking around, we me and our buddy Sean,
right.
We went to this one area where like the wrestlers were.
Okay, like a writer's alley before wrestling.
Yeah, okay. I met Brutus the Barber Beefcake and Jim Valentine, who's just surly. Holy shit!
Yeah, I can imagine he would that he uses the hard R.
And then we saw him at the LIRR waiting area at Penn.
Okay.
To get on the island, just pounding 2 drinks at a time.
Greg the Hammer Valentine.
Yeah,
that's pretty funny.
Just going full hog
with his fucking Shar-Pei puppy hair.
Yeah.
All right, gotcha.
So I walk by. I'm like, oh shit. Fucking Ted DiBiase's going to be here.
Oh, right.
And I'm like, yo, I'm coming back here in 25 minutes.
Okay.
I walk back there. It's only Virgil.
Now, why did you think it was Ted DiBiase?
So, Virgil used a standee of him and the $1 Million Man, where $1 Million Man is in the forefront, and Virgil's in the background, like fucking tiny.
Okay.
You wouldn't think Virgil would be there. You see something, and I was like, "This motherfucker!"
That's pretty good.
And I do know that there was the website Sad Virgil.
Yeah, no, because there's that meme of him sitting on the side for $2 autographs or something like that. But don't get me wrong, Virgil has made a little bit of an enterprise for himself. You know, embracing that meme-ness.
Absolutely,
him, showing up on AEW.
Good on him.
Sure. I mean, listen, some wrestlers get surly, pound 2 beers at the LIRR waiting station, or they get out there and embrace the new fans with whatever sort of, whatever way they can.
Though I will say, Brutus the Barber Beefcake and Tito Santana, 2 of the nicest guys I've ever met.
That's good. I like that.
They're like,
I
yeah.
can think Tito Santana.
They're like, what's up, brother? How you doing? Right. Brutus the Barber's like, yo, you want me to give you a haircut, brother? Like,
wow. All right.
I was like, nah, man, I'm good. Like, I'm fully shaved.
That's $200.
Like, I'm fully shaved.
That's probably
like,
yeah.
Right. It's kind of funny.
That's very funny. That is very funny.
I saw Ole Anderson also passed away.
Oh, yes, you're right. You're right, he did. That's our third.
One of the founding members of the Four Horsemen.
The Four Horsemen.
One of the greatest factions in wrestling history.
He has definitely used the hard R.
He's a Southern boy, of course he has.
Yeah. He was, I mean, listen, he was a fucking dumb son of a bitch in life. And, I mean, yeah, he just, you know, it is what it is.
Oh, man, dumb son of a
I mean, yeah, just you know, he didn't hide the fact of who he is.
Yeah.
For worse. And, just burned a lot of bridges. I was going to say something else, but yeah, you're right.
You were going to say crosses, weren't you?
Yeah.
So, and Richard Lewis, which when I was seeing pictures of him popping up, I thought it was Dennis Miller.
Yeah, I could see that. Young
I look at it real quick, I was like, oh shit, Dennis Miller passed away? I was like, no big deal.
There we go.
Dennis Miller was only funny on Weekend Update.
Ooh, even then. He's palatable.
Yeah.
On Weekend Update.
Bordello Blood. Not terrible. Wow, you finished your drink before we finished the RIPs. Wow! Go get a beer. Right, go get a beer.
I'm not trying to make this about myself.
Some people. Fuck you.
You want a beer? You're gonna have your drink.
I'm gonna have the rest of my drink, but I'll take a beer on deck.
There you go.
It's already open. It's gonna get flat. Good job. I feel like baby can't open beer tops now.
Nope.
All right.
Rest in power.
We can't.
Virgil,
we fucking can't.
Ole Anderson,
Richard
in
Lewis.
hell, and Richard Lewis. Clink it up. Oh God, and that'll do it for Blitzkrieg.
No more. I got 2 duds.
Oh, all right. So, all right. Tom's done of the show. Everybody, let's dust this off. Remember, you used to have dud of the show. Tom's soapbox. You had a lot of segments. Tommy.
Variants,
if you will. Spin-offs.
First off,
Wendy's,
man. Fucking Wendy's. This is corporate America again, though.
You're right, baby. You're right, baby boy.
So, you've taken Ubers.
I have taken Ubers, that is correct.
Many Ubers.
Many an Uber. Yes.
So, apparently...
I have Ubered many a times.
Uber will jack up their surge pricing, I believe it's called.
Surge pricing, yes.
Right. So...
Do you want me to explain what surge pricing is? Or are you going to do it?
During busy hours, they hype it
Supply and demand.
They jack up the prices.
That's it. I am demanding a ride now.
Right.
In a busy place, busy time. You're going to charge me more. Is what it is.
Wendy's wants to do the same thing. So now here's the thing. Fast food was always supposed to be like the cheaper way of doing dinner.
Correct.
And you get in, you get out. Boom.
Yeah.
Feed your family of 90.
Yeah.
Okay? Cool. Has not been that fucking way. They fuck up your orders. They fuck
up your orders.
They take about 40 minutes to even get your order to you, and it's wrong, or they're, So Wendy's wants to do surge pricing.
Yes.
For lunch hours and dinner hours.
Right, okay.
That's scummy to me.
Well, okay.
You are making enough. I could tell you right now, you are making enough fucking money. Every Wendy's fucking drive-thru that I pass is fucking packed.
Okay.
Every Wendy's I'll go into is fucking packed. That is fucking scummy to do. the fact that a Baconator will fucking turn around and cost you $25 possibly. Like, it's
okay.
you know what I mean, though. Come on.
Yeah, right.
It's fucking scummy. Wendy's has lost a customer in me. I will be fucking... And Nation, I want you to follow my example. Because if Wendy's sees that this is fucking working, guess fucking what? Every other fucking fast food place is going to be doing it.
That's correct, yeah. No.
So, do not eat at Wendy's. Do not let them win with this surge pricing bullshit. Fight the fucking power. Guess what? These fucking corporate pigs are gonna get real fucking, humble when we fucking break out the guillotine.
You good?
Yeah.
All right. You're speaking the truth, Tommy. You're voting with your dollars. You're absolutely voting with your dollars, which is what I've been telling you to do for years. You don't like something, don't buy it. Because that's how you affect those people in power. Yes, a sharp blade dropped at their necks will definitely affect them, but what you can do right now is affect their bottom line. And, that's what... Yes, but that's what... it's the same thing with voting. It's the same thing with all this stuff. Like, we all have to band together to have a voice. You know what I mean? We can't just let it happen. When COVID happened, which is still around, but when the pandemic and the quarantine and the lockdown all happened, people were raising their prices because of quite possibly real reasons. Quite possibly. I'm not saying they were, I'm not saying they weren't. But we were in a world where, yes, manufacturing went down and, transit was affected. Okay, fine, whatever. But once we started paying prices, we didn't stop not paying prices, because what are they going to do? They're going to be like, guys, we're making a lot of money now. We'll lower the prices. That doesn't fucking happen. Are you out of your mind? That doesn't exist. So, you're right. If this surge pricing happens and Wendy's doesn't see any sort of, I'm not even going to say a benefit, I'm going to say if they don't see any sort of hit to their business, everyone else will follow suit. That is 100% right. Because people will, fine. Possibly more expensive, though, that's the problem.
I'd rather give a fucking deli
You're not wrong.
money than these corporate pigs.
You're not wrong. So that's really all I got to say about that. And, you can affect them right now by not spending money giving money to companies that are not doing the right thing. People do that with the boycotts, going on with the Israel-Palestine whole situation, where some companies get their money from, some companies send their money to, and people are voting with their dollars.
I was seeing
a
lot
best thing we can do in this capitalistic communism, consumerism society.
I was seeing a bunch of other people were saying they're like, well, Wendy's just wants to look to get go out of business with doing this shit. So a lot of other people are on board with this.
You mean not spending the money?
Yeah,
right. Well, listen.
So my other dud of the show.
All right, we got 2 duds of the show.
Pat McAfee. So I was like, okay, hold on. Maybe I'm the problem. And I was just like, let me listen to the raw commentary.
Yeah, that is a problem for you, Tom.
I was thinking, maybe I'm the problem. Maybe I'm being too harsh on these guys trying to do their job.
Okay. I love the mid-sentence sip. That's great.
So, sitting there, watching Monday Night Raw. And fucking Pat McAfee's talking about almost taking a dump in his pants because Gunther scared him.
I did see that line.
There was another, I'm just sitting there, I was like, Michael Cole will be talking, and all of a sudden Pat McAfee will be like, huh? Whoa? Who's that in the ring? He legit, Seth Rollins was
How much does this guy weigh?
What the fuck, man? Get the fuck out of here. Fuck.
So I'm not going to. Do you have more to go with? I'm sorry. I don't want to. I don't want to steamroll. See, that's funny. Now I'm trying to let you.
I know.
speak,
No, I
and
know.
now
I know.
you're-
I know.
Okay. All right.
I just don't trust it.
I'm just worried about your feelings.
For once.
Once. I think Pat McAfee has a
Sucks.
certain energy to him. And he works very well with Michael Cole. I think Michael Cole is ecstatic working with a man
I
like
think Michael
him.
Cole's getting a little tired of him.
I will say, and people have said this online, that it's like, yeah, Pat McAfee is like 3 hours is too much for Pat McAfee.
They
Like,
need to
he
swap him out.
Yeah, he needs
Like-
to be on a 2-hour show.
He needs to be swapped out at the 9 o'clock hour.
But I
or
think,
bring in a third.
I think a lot of the stuff he says is funny to him, and a lot of stuff he says is funny to Michael Cole, which I like.
So kind of like our podcast.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
Is what I'm getting at. It's not funny
Gotcha.
to anybody else.
Right.
It is just funny to the two of them, who apparently are good friends. So that's
He
great.
fucking sucks. I don't like him. I want him out of the fucking company.
Well, that's not happening.
Those were my 2 duds of the show, and that's all we have for Blitzkrieg.
That's all we got from Blitzkrieg News. Shutting that door.
Chris,
Yeah, Tommy.
what do you put on
Huh?
a hamburger that you get from a local place or a place that
We've
is
been
a
through this. I do
scumbag
barbecue. I do
Wendy's?
barbecue sauce.
Huh?
That's my go-to. My barbecue sauce is my go-to for hamburgers.
Okay, what do you dip your fries in?
Where do I get these fries from, though? Chick-fil-A, which I just had today. They have delicious waffle fries. It's some sort of combination of the Chick-fil-A sauce and whatever sauces they got. But I think the answer you're looking for
Jesus fucking Christ, just say ketchup!
is CatchUp. RudeBoyz CatchUp. Been on furlough.
God damn, you're
Still on furlough.
Anyway.
Been playing some games.
Oh, yeah?
Doing some stuff. Trying to, pick up 2024, man. I'm behind on completed games. Like,
I
I'm
know.
still on Ghost of Tsushima. I'm like 40 hours into this game.
Still on Final Fantasy 16, but that's...
Still Final Fantasy 14, my guy. Like, shut up with that.
No, I made a new character.
Yeah, there it is. Oh, not the bomb. That's good. That's good though. Truth bombs. So, like I
Told you
said,
it was going to happen.
last episode I talked about finishing up Prince of Persia: The Lost Crown, which was pretty good. Went into Hollow Knight because I want to do another Metroidvania, and that's pretty highly regarded. Did not like it. Was a little too slow. So I went with Ori and the Blind Forest, another Metroidvania that's out on Game Pass, and I played it to completion. It's very good. It looks very nice. It reminds me of when I first played this game, Braid. Are you familiar with the game Braid?
No.
It's a platformer like a Mario or something like that. It's very puzzle oriented, but like everything, the art style is very. When the game came out on like early Xbox 360, it just looked a certain way. You know what I mean? Like its art style was like, this is what it looks like. It's like I would if you want to Google it real quick just to see what I'm talking about.
Oh, I'm mocking someone right now.
Oh, that's fine. It just looks a certain way. Ori and the Blind Forest looks very nice, but for a very intense platformer and search action game, kind of tough to navigate at sometimes because it's just like, oh, am I going to jump into this pile of grass or are those spikes? I don't know. And I find out, and I'm like, cool. What Ori's got going for it, though, and it's one of the more highly regarded features, is that you can save the game anywhere as long as you have like one cell of energy or whatever it is, which I like because it's like you get to a certain point, you do like a tough platforming section, you save right after it. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? So you're not having to like redo fucking minutes of work or tens of minutes of work.
Does that sound like a Tom game?
It's not bad. I would definitely give it a shot.
Yeah.
I know I didn't say that about...
It's on Game Pass?
It's on Game Pass, yes. It's on Switch. It's
Actually,
on
I
a bunch of
found out
stuff.
I no longer have Game Pass in my house.
Really?
Yeah.
Huh. You would think he bought Elden Ring 3 times. Like, you didn't...
Yeah, but he
Game
pre-ordered it on... He pre-ordered the DLC on fucking PS5.
He's a fool. Game Pass is fantastic.
My PS5, nonetheless, but that's neither here nor there.
Oh my gosh. He's that was good.
What?
What you wrote
Uh-huh.
in the Fuckboys chats.
That's why I'm the champion.
But Ori and the Blind Forest is pretty good.
Okay.
I downloaded or I installed the sequel, which is Will of the Wisps, I think. Ori and the. That's not right. Whatever the sequel is, I don't know. But I'm gonna take a break. I'm not gonna just hop into the next one right away. Like I said, I'm still playing Ghost of Tsushima, which is fantastic. I need another game to kind of like, I need a big game and I need a small game. I can't do two big games. That's impossible, Tom. Come on now. Still want to play Mega Man X2. Maybe we'll get to that.
It's like me fucking reading, dude.
One thing that came out of the partner direct that we talked about earlier was this game got a demo. It's called Pepper Grinder. This is a game that Devolver Digital's putting out. It's very much like this old GBA game called Drill Dozer, except it's way more fluid. You're basically this little girl, little pirate girl, and she's got like a big fucking drill, and that's how you attack. And you can drill through dirt, and like you're doing like all these like crazy loop-de-loops and stuff like that. It's kind of like
it seems very Metrovania.
No, it's level based.
Okay,
and you go from the start to the end. I mean, don't get me wrong. There is some secrets and shit you can get in between. I'm trying to think what it's kind of like. I'm sure there's some old Super Nintendo, Sega Genesis game. I've never played Sparkster. Maybe it's kind of like that, where you kind of like you're zipping from one spot to the next. You gotta just go through dirt and like do boosts and do jumps and stuff like that. It's very fluid, very frenetic. Cool art style, pixelated. I'm into it. Check it out on Switch. Pepper Grinder is what it's called. And
Pepper Grinder.
We recorded 2 months worth of RudeBoyz Top 10s, all about the 50 fuzzball years of Wolverine. And with X-Men 97 looming, I wanted to watch X-Men the Animated Series again, which I don't think I ever have since the original airing, because obviously it wasn't like available to stream and all that shit. So now it's on Disney Plus, obviously, and I've just been watching that. And I've been telling you, I think ever since I started watching it, that what they do in the first 13 episodes of season 1 is insane, dude.
So fucking much.
Insane. Like, just the fact that, like, you have the Sentinels, got it, and then you have the Friends of Humanity, you have Gyrick, you have, what's the dude? Is the Robert Kelly kind of mutant sympathetic?
He turns mutant.
Okay, got you. Because Cameron Hodge was always a dick in the comics.
Cameron Hodge is a cunt.
Right. Like, he was always a dick, and then he became, like, a supervillain.
Yeah.
But, like, Gyrick, always a bad guy.
Yeah.
Creed, always a bad guy. Grayson Creed. Well, both Creeds.
Graydon.
Can you take me higher? Is that Creed? That's not Creed.
I said Graydon Creed.
But was that Creed?
Yeah.
Creed's higher?
Yeah.
Oh, my God.
I know, you could sleep tonight, right?
I was afraid. I didn't know which one of my mid-90s fucking...
Christian rock.
Christian rock. That, Nickelback, POD, I don't know.
Graydon Creed, was he...
He was the leader of the Friends of Humanity.
I know.
Do you want me to Sherm's playing X-Men to you? Poorly?
Do you want to get a beer bottle for that?
Force.
Fucking moron.
He's my best friend, everybody.
Everything hurts right now.
No, there's a lot of humans...
I feel like Graydon Creed was like another animated invented person. I feel like he might have been.
I remember seeing him in the comics, but that might have been post X-Men 90, the animated
post
series.
What?
I was going to say X-Men 92, but
okay.
It's not called that. It's called the animated... Well, it's not even called the animated series. It's just called X-Men.
Yeah, I gotta look that up. Because I feel like I don't remember seeing Graydon Creed in the comics until after that.
Gotcha. But yeah, no, it brings in all this fucking strife, man. I can't believe how woke X-Men are.
Strife isn't there.
But yeah, you have all these things going on. Then you bring Magneto. Then you bring in Genosha. Then you bring in Sabretooth running amok, and Cable, and Colossus, and Juggernaut. You know, an Apocalypse.
You haven't even gotten
now we haven't gotten a Days of Future Past. I know those are the next few episodes.
You haven't even gotten into them, like, fucking throwing Nightcrawler there.
Yeah.
And, like, you know, I'm up to, like, Mojo was in...
believe me, I know it's going to go places.
Oh,
but
yeah.
You're right. We were talking about this off air. They didn't know, you know, the extent of their series.
They did not know if they were going to be canceled or not.
But I know that the characters... I'm sorry. I know that the writers and the showrunners, they wanted to make it not like Monster of the Week sort of thing. They wanted to have these episodes blend in together.
Right.
Hence the whole previously on X-Men. Like, you know, you needed a recap to know exactly what was happening. And there's episodes that end, and the new episode begins with, again, a recap, but also, like, you know, like, oh, this is still happening. You know, like, oh, you know, the one episode ends where the mansion's destroyed. Big shock. The episode begins with the fallout of that. And then the episode ends with them trying to rebuild. Next episode, they're still rebuilding. Like, that's cool. That's very smart. I think this show is structured very well. And I said this off air again, writing a little wacky, but I mean, whatever. It's 90s. These characters didn't have literal voices.
Right.
So I'm just amazed that a show like this existed.
Are you going to make it to the 20th? Are you going to finish it before the 20th?
I probably won't. I have lost my pace already. It just happens. You know
sometimes,
I mean?
like you know,
and that's a healthy pace for me of 3 episodes at a time. You know, like that's
wow.
You know, that just is what it is. But I did. Tommy came up with a small little drinking game. This is the RudeBoyz X-Men the Animated Series drinking game. So you take a drink when Jean moans. All right,
you're hammered right there.
Yep. Wolverine is cryptic, meaning that, like, where were you? And he was like, outside, or something like that. You know what I mean? Like, he just says something like, okay, mystery man, got it.
Okay.
Gambit or Rogue say something southy, so they say something like, you look like a long-tailed cat in a room full of rocking chairs, or something like that.
Yeah,
like,
well, and then with Gambit, it gets like
Gambit's like
throwing like Cajun stuff.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah,
like,
that's
so
why I
much
said a whole
more.
just southy sort of stuff. B says anything that is way too smart for a Saturday morning cartoon. Which, yeah, you're smashed. Something was memed to death, and you have to do a Leonardo DiCaprio point and whistle thing. So, like I said, I've already seen Rogue's fat ass. I've seen Wolverine, you know, caressing the picture of why he has that of Cyclops and Jean.
Yeah, never got that myself.
You hear that stock whoa scream, you know what I'm talking about, where humans like, whoa, like that. You hear that a lot, maybe every 3 episodes. Whenever Wolverine and Gambit square up, that happens a lot in season 1, because they're both equally, they're both, I mean, in the 90s,
alpha
man,
males,
they are the hottest fucking X-Men right now, and so you gotta have them clash.
I dig that.
And then you have to take 2 shots and drive into a tree when you skip the intro, because you're obviously a cop, because nobody's going to skip that intro.
No.
That intro is the best. Why is that button, just Disney remove that button?
What
that
about...
that intro stays on. I don't care.
You take a shot every time Wolverine's a dick to Cyclops.
Like, unnecessarily?
Yeah.
Okay, I like that. I don't want to be...
Tell Cyclops I just gave him a convertible. Why?
No, he comes... No, the famous bit when they come off the Blackbird
him in the stomach.
Just guts him real quick. Next time, I use these. I gotta say that snicked sound effect they come up with is really good.
That's my text message sound.
It is, yes.
Yeah.
That is a really good sound. Overall, I'm enjoying reliving this stuff.
Nice.
But I think what's going to happen is...
seeing it with adult eyes is very fun.
Yeah. Well, because again, like, and I texted you this, or I might have told you over the phone, like, it's crazy to me how, like, you're on Genosha, right? It's mutant prison. Slave camp, basically. Slave island. And, I think the episode's called Slave Island. Worst reality show ever. Magneto was like an asshole in this. Like they don't,
but still,
there's
like,
no shades of gray with Magneto in the first season.
Yeah,
he is a bad boy.
But still, it's like,
it's easier to write that way.
Homeboy fucking lived through the Holocaust.
Right.
maybe you find out that there's an island.
Doesn't sound like anybody knows about it though. That's the thing. But like it's funny. It's like you have all these other mutant slaves there. Which you know about because they're in their costume and they call them by their code names. Like it's just funny like that. Like
they're all in costume on that. Like,
dude, Muir Island. They're at a bar. Who is it? Pyro and Avalanche. How do you know this? They're dressed like fucking idiots
and like
clowns.
I think I was telling you that like with Extinction Agenda, they shaved their heads. They put numbers on their like they tattooed numbers on their head. And they put them in these, like, fucking suits that, like, dampen their powers or some shit like that. And it's just like, okay. Yeah, fucking Gambit gets the collar off with his thieving skills.
Yeah.
Which kind of, to me, is baller.
Cable shows that's good. But then you had to have Jubilee do it because, you know, she's the 90s, you know, Avatar character. I get, again, it's episode fucking 6 in the cartoon, so you gotta, you know, who's this character with fire powers that's Japanese? I don't know. Oh, it's Sunfire. Here's his comic. Here's his card. Here's his action figure. Like, I get there's a reason they're doing this. It's just funny looking at this now, and you have to understand this is not...
Domino had, like,
616.
red hair. Like, Domino had red hair.
Domino,
like, the way Domino was drawn, it was, like, generic female mutant number 1.
Oh, yeah, no, they get there. Like, 100%.
But then eventually you're like, oh, okay. Oh, that's who that is.
Yeah. Yep.
Exactly.
Yep. I will say this is the first time I realized, because I just saw the episode dealing with Apocalypse and the Four Horsemen. Like, okay. Episode 8, great. They intro the other horsemen, the non-Archangel horsemen, because they're just at the bar. You know what I mean? Like, they're at the bar right next door. To
Harry's Hideaway.
Yeah, whatever it is. But, like, I'm like, oh, shit. Like, I remember watching this as a cartoon, and I'm like, who the fuck are these guys? I didn't curse.
Why do I care?
Right, I'm just thinking, I'm like, obviously Archangel I know of, but, like, who are these other three? Why do I care?
Right.
They actually introed them earlier in the episode.
Makes sense.
Long story short, I'm enjoying it.
Good.
I hope to get through it.
I'm
afraid what's going to happen is...
I'm so glad you're enjoying it, though.
Okay, hold the applause, hold the proudness. Because the same thing that happened in the initial run of X-Men, the cartoon, is the animated series, if you will. I will probably fall off once, like, these arcs are like, all right, I don't care anymore. You know what I mean? Like, there's going to get to a point where I'm just like, that's what I'm just telling you how it is. I hope not. That's how I lived it the first time. I know. And that might be how I live it again.
We're going to see how your life is.
We're going to see. I think the first season is just so jam-packed with fucking craziness.
Yeah.
That's getting me in there. Once they start spreading out.
Yeah, but then, like, you got Belladonna showing up.
Oh, cool. Can't wait.
You know, like...
Who gives a shit?
I see. I like seeing, like, Gambit's, like, backstory.
Okay.
You got, you know, Ms. Marvel shows up. Like,
you're right,
you know,
for the
like,
Rogue
there's a lot
origin,
of there's a lot of cool shit that happens.
No, I get that, and I'm in for that. But there's going to be some episodes that are filler, and I'm going to be like, ugh, okay.
So that's when you just fucking drink and you edit.
Yeah, fair.
Okay.
All right. That's all I've been up to, Tommy. What have you been up to, buddy?
So I've been watching a lot of shit.
Oh, have you?
Yeah, I watched.
Nice little ping pong right there. I watched. You watched.
Yes.
Okay. Cool.
Starting off. I'm sorry. Am I boring you?
No, I'm good. Continue.
Okay. Just making sure.
Yeah.
Fucking furlough
I'm
boy.
gonna play a game while you talk.
Fuck you. I was engaging the whole fucking time.
Ooh, X-Men. Okay, what's up? I'll continue. Go ahead.
Pepper shaker. I heard you.
Pepper grinder.
Oh, fuck you. Anyway, I watched the show on Hulu called Shogun.
Oh shit, you did?
Yeah.
Nice. What do you think?
I can't tell if that's much.
No, I want to watch it, but again, I'm not committing to...
Very cool. I love feudal Japan shit.
Dude, you're going to love Ghost of Tsushima, bro.
I really do. Fuck. And it's cool because, like, when the Japanese people are talking, it's subtitled.
Right, nice. Are you watching the... Because there's 2 versions on Hulu, right? There's a dub and a sub?
Oh, I'm watching it straight, like how it's...
Okay. So I think you're watching it...
But when the Portuguese and the English people are talking, it's all in English.
Okay.
So,
cool.
The guy, I can't. What's his name?
I'll look up the. I mean, I don't know who you're talking
His
about.
last name is Sonata. He was in the Wolverine.
Okay.
He played Moriko's father.
Oh man, you're making me have to. Hiroyuki Sanada.
Yes, yeah. And it's funny because
No, I was like,
okay, because he also
it was easy enough for me to get through.
He also played he plays someone who's aligned with someone who's named Mariko as well.
Oh, interesting.
And I'm like, So it's very cool. So the Portuguese.
I'll be right back. Continue.
Okay. So the Portuguese find Japan first. And then they're keeping it like a big secret. And so the Portuguese are Christian. So they introduced Christianity to Japan. Then all of a sudden a European ship comes. And the European ship is... Europeans at this time are mainly Protestant. So they're kind of like, oh, okay, so we're gonna, introduce, this religion. So it starts becoming a tug of war of different religions. It's very cool. Fucking epic, man. I was not expecting, the epicness of what was happening. And, yeah, no. I'm in it to win it. There's gun running, so it's like, hey, you got a little bit of Sons of Anarchy there. You got some, some shady shit going, so you got Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. stuff going there. Shogun's awesome.
Okay, I'm sorry I missed you talking about it. Is it just 4 episodes, or I just see 4
episodes? 2 episodes right now.
I know right now, but in general, because I only see 4 episodes listed with.
I'm gonna be surprised.
Okay, fine. I didn't know if you were aware of it or you knew. All right, cool. But yeah, I want to get into it, especially with Ghost of Tsushima.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
cool.
Excited. What else you been up to, Tommy? What did you do at all? What did you do at all?
No, okay. I've been waiting for you and just causing chaos.
Sure. Okay. Clearly, got it.
Watched Avatar: Last Airbender live action.
Okay.
It's pretty good.
Yeah.
I feel like the casting was well. The dude...
It's all out, right? Mm-hmm. All episodes are out? Okay, gotcha. The full season?
Uh-huh.
Gotcha.
The dude they got to play Sokka he's a legit, cartoon character. He looks like he could be, a cartoon character.
Aang? Who are you talking about? The main character?
I said the actor they got to play Sokka.
Oh, Sokka! I'm sorry.
I didn't say Aang at all.
I don't know who... I didn't hear the name you said. That's why I was like... I'm like, who the fuck are you talking about?
Head ass, get it out.
Wow. All right. It's funny because you didn't so you haven't watched the cartoon it's based off of.
I watched a handful of episodes.
Right. Okay.
As long as if they do a season 2, they don't do my favorite character dirty, I'm okay.
Who's your favorite?
Toph.
Toph. Yeah.
Toph's fucking awesome.
Toph's really good.
It was pretty good. Even the kid who played Aang was really good. The girl.
Aang.
Yeah, Aang!
Okay.
Ring!
Okay.
Fucking no.
Alright, cool.
Just trying to do something. But
I'm not possessed by multiple,
personality disorder?
Yeah. Okay. The personality.
Oh,
boy.
Yeah, it's good. All the dude who plays the uncle, he was in Mandalorian.
Yes.
The kid who plays Zuko is really whiny, but I know that's the character.
Okay.
In the beginning.
Yeah.
And Zuko's a little whiny bitch in the beginning. All in all, it's not bad.
Okay. Sterling recommendation.
No, I enjoyed it. I know you say you're not going to watch it.
I have, Avatar was cool. I'm good. You know what I mean? Yeah.
Okay.
I don't have enough interest to pursue it in
Right.
a live action format, if that makes sense. I didn't have enough interest to really go into Korra, which that was cool because there was a big time jump between
Right.
Avatar and Korra. So I felt like that would have kept me going. I love a good time jump. I love a good same story but told through generations. But I was just I was kind of burnt out. with Avatar.
Makes sense, yeah.
What makes sense? Me burning out and giving up?
You saw something shiny and, suffering from burnout. Like, no, it happens to the best of us.
Okay. Very good.
And then I watched Oppenheimer.
Sloppenheimer.
I understand the...
This is a me quote. Okay.
I understand the hype.
Okay.
Of it.
Okay.
Oh, are we challenging hoods?
No, there's no challenge in your hood, my boy.
There's no challenging hoods.
Where'd he go? Oh, there's the mentor.
I understand the hype.
The mentor.
I also understand, fucking, Cillian Murphy getting, everything.
Right.
Shut up. I hate you.
What do you mean getting everything? Like his awards and shit?
Yeah.
No,
he was
he
really
acted
good.
that little Irish ass off.
Yeah, and fucking Robert Downey Jr.,
he was there.
That.
No, he did a good job, too.
Dude, that twist at the end was whoa.
Yeah, that was really, that's a fucking long movie, too, and then you're like...
I feel like it was 40 minutes too long.
But it should have had 50 minutes of...
The Oppenheimer trial could have been wrapped up in 20. Easily.
Yeah, but I mean, that was kind of the framework for why.
Dude was just a scapegoat. That's all he was.
Yeah, of course.
I really fucking enjoyed this movie.
Good, I'm glad. Is Christopher Nolan out of your bad graces now? Okay, we're not there yet.
Dude wants to do a horror movie, apparently. So...
He's really going to be summoning demons.
Yeah. Which apparently, he used very little CGI with, the atom bomb testing.
Right.
And I was like, okay, yeah, no, this dude just... Exactly. So, very cool movie. I enjoyed it. I'm sure it's going to win the Oscars.
Oh, Cillian Murphy's tapping some cheeks.
Emily Blunt was so fucking annoying in that. I did not like her in that. She was... It's like, yo...
Who?
Emily Blunt. Fucking... It's like, yo, calm down there, Captain Drinky. Calm down.
She was fucking troubled.
Yeah.
She saw her husband... I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. And that's all I've been up to.
And that's all we've been up to.
Hit the fucking pause button, because I gotta take a piss.
Alright, well, I'm just gonna vamp and talk. Well, it's gonna affect me. Goodbye. Alright, Tom, you heard of a little movie called Madam Web? You've heard of it, I'm sure. The entire nation, including the RudeNation, has heard of Madam Web. You boys, as per recording...
Sydney Sweeney is going to be hosting SNL this week.
I've just images.
I love the fact that I just short circuited Chris.
I'm sure there's a scene in Apocalypse Now where someone I think it's Jesus Christ, who's the fucking Marlon Brando talks about the horror. But this is not the horror. But this just goes on through my head. A little movie called Madam Web. As per recording, your boys have not seen it. I still have all intents of seeing it. I'm not going to see it by myself. That's just sad. Nation, if you see movies by yourself and you love it, great. That's not me. Last time I did that was the third Matrix movie. I will never do that again.
First of all.
Yeah, I know. We got that far, but whatever. Yes. And also, it was bad. So I just won't do that. So,
you're gonna make me do it.
It might be something on our YouTube or TikTok. Just search our social media platforms if we do a RudeBoyz Reacts to Madam Web. Or maybe I'll put the reaction right here. I don't know. There's no way to know.
Man.
So...
If we see it on Monday, I'm going to have to take gummies after we do that.
I would love that for you. I would love that for you, and you would enjoy it.
It would have to be fucking early, because I do have work the next day.
Okay, fine. That's absolutely fine. You can take gummies. I'll take you to the movies. I'll put a ceiling fan in, and we'll be good.
I have to help you with the ceiling.
You don't. You do, but you don't.
I'm your. Here's your tool.
That's fine. So Madam Web has really stunk up the place, and a lot of people are saying that. I think I showed you a video where it's talking about, can Marvel actually sue Sony? for this shit because it's really ruining their rep.
Yeah,
because people are going to see, and I'm going to talk about this. In a little bit. It
has the Marvel logo, I'm sure.
Exactly. So people are going to see this, think, much like the actors that were hired for this movie, think they're part of the MCU. So when you get a bad movie, you're going to be like, I don't want to see the next thing, which might be actually a good movie.
Fantastic Four, we're looking at you.
Well, Deadpool.
Deadpool, yeah.
Deadpool's the next Marvel Studios movie, but then you got Craven, you got Venom 3 happening also. So, so let's talk about what happened here. So on the notes, I did a quick little.
I did forget those.
What? Well, listen. So, a little bit of the state of the Sony Spider-Man Universe. It used to be called, Sony's Universe of Characters from Spider-Man. It was some weird fucking acronym that they just called it Sony Spider-Man Universe now. Cool. Glad somebody got paid for that. So, since Marvel got sold off... let me take it back. Since Marvel sold off Spidey rights in the late 90s, actually probably earlier than that when they filed for bankruptcy. Sony picked up the rights, eventually. They have 5 years and 9 months to make a standalone Spider-Man film. That's just how it goes, That's why you had things kind of green-lit and go. So, Spider-Man 1 and 2 by Sam Raimi, starring Tobey Maguire, Kirsten Dunst, Willem Dafoe... Kirsten.
Kirsten.
I know I said that the second time. I originally said Kristen. Mm-hmm. Cool.
James
Franco. Alfred Molina.
J.K. Simmons.
Cannot
forget about the
but
best.
I did apparently.
Huh?
But I did apparently.
One of the best parts of those three movies.
Were great. However, Spider-Man 3 was rushed. It was botch fest. It was like, let's put Venom in this. Let's do this. Sam Raimi wanted to do a movie with Vulture. He wanted to do all this stuff. They were like, Avi Arad, who name just stinks up the place, and he's going to stink up the fucking Zelda movie, was just like, no, put Venom in. He's popular. So they put Venom in, and we all, listen, the first RudeBoyz go to the movies, Spider-Man 3, for a reason. It's there. So then they rebooted to the Amazing Spider-Man movie franchise, which is, again, you have to have a Spider-Man movie every 5 years, 9 months.
Yep.
Amazing Spider-Man was fine. Spider-Man 2, though, Amazing Spider-Man 2, was not great. It was the lowest performing live-action Spider-Man film. And Sony was in trouble. Not great at all. They had a lot of high hopes. Amy Pascal, another stinks up the joint place person.
She sucks.
She stinks. And she probably actually does stink. She just looks like a stinky person. They wanted to do all these wacky spin-offs and let's really milk this fucking teat. You know? Let's just fucking juice this nut. And I don't know why I said it that way. And they were even saying
nut, he said.
They were even trying to talk. They were like, listen, maybe we can license out Spider-Man to Marvel Studios. And they can use Andrew Garfield Spider-Man. Did you know Andrew Garfield got fired from being Spider-Man because he was sick during a Amazing Spider-Man 2 press junket, and they fired him because they thought they were big-timing him? Swear to God. That's Sony for you, baby. That's Sony. That's the episode of the final. That's Sony.
It makes me really not want to get a PS5 now.
Tom on his high horse.
Oh,
Tom, enjoy what you like, my guy.
Up.
Also, the Sony Films or Sony Pictures is way different than
the games.
Sony Computer Electronics. Yes.
Thanks.
They had the Sony email hack. You remember this?
No, we didn't talk about that at all.
I don't know if you're being sarcastic at all. This might have predated the RudeBoyz Power Hour.
Oh, I thought you were talking about the current one.
No, I'm talking about the one that happened, I guess, in 2014.
Oh, I didn't know about that.
Whole bunch of Sony emails got hacked. This was during when the PS3 had a big hacker attack.
Oh, right,
DDoS
attack. I
attack.
got my free $5.
Yes.
Thanks for nothing.
Okay, again, I'm very sour on Sony. A lot of the stuff, just these bewildering shit about Amy Pascal being like, we should get, you could probably look it up. There's like all these like wacky fucking casting. They're like, oh, we should get George Clooney to play Dr. Octopus. We should get Tom Hanks to play the Green Goblin. Like, are you out of your mind?
Tom Hanks, who is the nicest fucking person on and off of film.
They're like, we need to get these triple A stars.
That wouldn't fucking work because Tom Hanks is the nicest guy on and in movies. That I don't think that dude has ever played a villain.
I can't think of it. Right
he hasn't.
But that happened. So it really makes Sony look fucking bad. Makes Sony look real shitty.
Yeah.
Gives Marvel Studios a bit of an edge. Kevin Feige is like, all right, listen, we're gonna license Spider-Man, but here's the deal. The details of their specific deal, I don't really know. I know Marvel Studios has input in the Spider-Man films. They also have part of the financing, part of the box office. But Sony, it's a Sony movie. Mm-hmm. It's basically Sony coming in under Marvel Studios' wing and like, come on, I got you. All right, let's do this. Let's do that. Here's access to Iron Man. Here's access to Nick Fury. Here's access to Doctor Strange. You know what I mean? Like, shit like that. There was a time also right after Endgame, I believe it was, where Sony backed out of any sort of deal. Remember, we thought they were like, oh, fuck, what's happening? Everybody, like, Tom Holland was crying. He's like, but then they were like, all right, fine, here's the deal. We'll do a third Tom Holland Spider-Man movie and a new trilogy and some more movies. So that's where we're at right now with the live-action Tom Holland Spider-Man. Okay? But Sony obviously has got the smell of money, and they want to keep this shit going. Venom does well. They wanted to do a Venom movie since the Amazing Spider-Man movies, and the first Venom movie does well. A lot of that is because it's super low budget, so of course they're going to make bank on that. Also, a lot of it is because the audience are idiots, and they're like, "Oh, that's Marvel, got it. That's the next movie in the MCU."
Yep.
Okay, your plan worked, but it doesn't work again because Venom 2 wasn't that hot.
No.
Again, both movies in our RudeBoyz Go to the Movies. Morbius, another movie ripe for going to the movies, was Morbius. Morbius came back into theaters because fans trolled Sony. They were like, "Oh, it's a meme. We should watch it again. We should watch it again." Sony put it back in theaters. Nobody watched it again. Nobody watched it the first fucking time except for us.
Sony is like that fucking like old guy that you're tricking. Be like, "Yes, this is snake oil."
Yeah, they are the snake oil salesmen. Yep.
No,
after a while,
the audience were the snake oil salesman.
No, but now it's turning into them being like, well now a Spider-Man movie. Does it have Spider-Man in it? No. Is it related to Spider-Man?
Apparently, in a roundabout way, it does have Spider-Man in it.
Yeah, again, yes. The audience has to make those leaps.
Yeah.
They don't do that for you. Anyway, Morbius happens. Madam Web has happened to us as a whole. It goes Madam Web, 9/11, I think whatever started World War I. Like, a lot of big global things happened.
Yeah.
That we will never be the same again. And now Kraven and Venom 3 are supposed to release this year. Okay. That is the stage we are setting. Now, I wanted to make this a little easier than just put Spider-Man in these movies. Because I want to work within the parameters that Sony's working in. Because it's like, how can you bungle this? You have this...
What, like a fucking special ed kid?
Well, yeah, they clearly do, yes.
Like, seriously?
So, I mean, there's got to be some reason they're reaching out to Bad Bunny to do El Muerto, which they're not doing anymore. I mean, why the fuck would you anyway?
Why would you drop that?
I know.
Who the fuck is El Muerto?
Exactly, yes. There was a lot of people being like, oh, here's the complete El Muerto reading order. It's like some relaunch of Amazing Spider-Man.
Like two issues?
Exactly, yeah. It was an issue and 2 panels. And the guy is acting like oh no, and this is what, and then you follow this up with the next 2 pages of the, like, it's very funny because it's like, this character is a nothing character. But
Jesus, tap dancing, fucking
which really
Christ.
seems to be again, Sony seems to want to shoot for these stars and be like, okay, cool, let's make this person so-and-so. Let's make this person so-and-so. Whatever. Doesn't matter. So these are the rules that we're trying to kind of work through. How can we try to save this Sony Spider-Man universe?
Uh-huh.
I like how you're saying, like, this is the first time you're seeing this.
No, I've been looking at it.
All right, okay, cool.
Maybe.
We can't use Tom Holland Spider-Man, because that would be easy, or seemingly any traditional, air quotes, Peter Parker, air quotes, Spider-Man. Because why wouldn't they already?
Why wouldn't they make this whole universe the
like
Andrew
Garfield's universe, which is the rumor, like whatever. Again, I don't know, who knows. Live action Miles is off the table too, for whatever reason Amy Pascal has. Apparently recently in an interview.
Is that what that's supposed to say?
Yeah, that's a
has.
Alright, cool. Thanks Guy for getting a typo on me.
Hey. The amount of things you get on me. Shut the fuck up.
In an interview recently, people were saying, like, when can we expect the live-action Miles Morales? And Amy Pascal is saying, well, we still have 2 more Spider-Verse movies to do. I don't know where she's getting 2, because only Edge of the Spider-Verse? Is that what the third one's called? Edge of the Spider-Verse is in production. But apparently there's going to be, like, an all-female Spider-Verse movie. Sure, cool, whatever. This is not, another thing is it has to be live-action. Like, we're not going to... it'd be easy to do cartoons because the cartoons have done very well. Mm-hmm. Also, Kraven and Venom 3, like we said, are still happening. We can't avoid it. It's like the beating you're getting from Daddy. But we can speculate on how we're getting beaten. And characters have to be solely in the Spider-Man universe. Mm-hmm. No MCU crossovers. Because, again, if they coulda, they woulda. But they can't, so they didn't. Also, there's no way that would have saved them anyway.
No.
You're not going to throw Man-Thing into Venom and be like, oh, fucking, yeah, $1 billion.
Or the Runaways.
Oh, yeah, the Runaways. I didn't even talk about that shit. I don't even think, dude,
or Hellstrom.
Yeah, the Hulu shows. Oh, my Lord almighty. All right, so Tom, I've got some thoughts, brother. So, do you want to go first? Like, I have a whole fucking thing. So...
Jesus.
Yeah. So,
I'm just fucking doing it.
You've got to be kidding me. All right, so Tom, how can you fix that?
So, minus the stink of Madam Web.
Uh-huh. Right, which, again, it happened. We can't avoid
what
it.
they should have done.
Okay.
And now, if they didn't want to use Peter Parker Spider-Man for whatever reason,
uh-huh,
you could have built this whole Sony Spider-Man extended universe around Cindy Moon.
Okay.
Totally, like, she's bitten by, like, a spider. Boom.
The same spider, right?
You don't even have to say that.
Well, no, I know.
You don't have to say that. If we're not...
No, you're right.
If we don't want Peter Parker involved in this...
Yeah.
You don't even she's bitten by a spider. You could say that she was being, hit. You could still do the whole, like, she was being hidden away.
Okay.
By Ezekiel.
Ezekiel, the antagonist of...
Apparently. I didn't think he was an antagonist, but
again, like, who the fuck gives a shit about Ezekiel? Like, fine, make him a villain. Who gives a shit?
Well, I mean, he did give us Silk, essentially. Like,
yeah, okay, fine. But, like, you could make him... it doesn't matter. It's not.
It doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter. None of this fucking matters.
So, but, like, you could... All these villainous movies you're doing,
mm-hmm. you
could have done the, you could have used Cindy Moon on this. She could have held the symbiote, which could have transferred to Tom Hardy.
Okay.
Tom Hardy.
I will just say real quick. They are planning to do a Silk show, like a cartoon or something like that.
Are they?
But we're not. We're still dealing in live action.
No,
like, yeah. So
I think
because my stuff kind of deals similarly,
mm-hmm.
but it's like all that shit. Clearly, Sony doesn't give a fuck. So this is what we're doing. Like
and
that.
Then,
so that's what we're doing.
This could all everything that has happened could escalate. And still having Cindy in the forefront. Escalate to Kraven the Hunter.
Okay.
Being like the pinnacle of not the pinnacle, but the
main antagonist.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
And honestly, you could have. honestly, you could have introduced Madam Web the way they introduced her in the fucking cartoon. As a fucking cripple.
Spider-Man. Right.
You know, and, like, being her guide.
Okay.
And, like, you know, if she could team up with, like, you know, Julia Carpenter.
Right.
You know, like, there were a lot of smarter ways to execute this without...
The way they executed it.
Without execution style.
Right, yeah, without, you know, gun to the back of the head sort of situation. I got you.
I mean, you could have also brought... Honestly, if Emma Stone wanted to do Gwen Stacy, you could have brought her in as a Gwen Stacy.
Right.
And, you know, we could have done a Ghost Spider. We could have had a Ghost Spider.
I think that a lot of studios, as I was writing my whole dissertation, I think a lot of studios want to ape Marvel's formula without aping their formula.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? Like, I think they want to jump to the good shit without getting there. DCU, Dark Universe, whatever the fuck Sony's doing.
Yep.
Like, they just want to try to do blockbuster. We forget we lived in a time where an Iron Man, a Hulk movie, a Thor movie, and a Captain America movie, 2 Iron Man movies technically, that was like, what the fuck? Like, these movies all kind of tie in? That's crazy.
Yeah.
Like, nobody's recapturing that anymore. No. Everybody's at the point. Everybody's fast-forwarding to, yeah, no, they're all in the same universe. Totally. You're Batman and fighting Superman right now. Got it.
Why?
Like, why?
Why are they fighting each other?
Why are they fighting each other? Exactly.
Why? Because they have the same mother's
where's
name?
Apparently. But that's why they don't fight, actually. But, like, why do we get there? And I think a lot of... They don't do that. And I think a situation like you're explaining makes sense because you have a character, you want to see that character grow and you want to root for them, and then you, like a spider's web, connect those points. Yeah, that was bad. I'm sorry. Hence the voice.
Yeah, and that's
self-hatred.
And that's the thing. They, like, there's no one we can sit there and root for.
Right.
We weren't rooting for fucking Michael Morbius.
No.
You know, we weren't, you know... I think maybe the closest is, like, Eddie Brock, because he got
That's
fucked.
really it. I mean, I feel like if they want to... Like, kind of that's the basis of what I was planning on doing. But, like, you're right. Like, I mean, Venom made him the most money. Deal with it. That means the most eyes were on that movie. So, that's...
Yeah.
That's what you started this whole fucking shit with. Go ahead, my guy. Pull through. Nope, we got to do a Craven movie.
Like...
Whatever.
Or, again, you could have fucking, you know, Craven being the one in the shadows, like, sending all these people, like, out. Like,
right.
Like, hey, bring Paul Giamatti back as Rhino.
Right.
Throw him in a fucking Rhino suit, whether it be a mech or fucking... He's a man just in a suit or what the fuck ever.
That's actually what I wanted to touch on. I'm sorry. When you mentioned Emma Stone and now Paul Giamatti, like, they don't do a lot of, you know, like... Listen, we brought back older actors in the MCU. Do that here. You understand that, like, nostalgia is a hell of a thing. People will see that. People will be like, oh, shit, I get that. So then they'll, you know, they'll gravitate towards that. Like, you know, that's just how audiences... That's how we are. That's how I imagine audiences are, too. So
we're simple.
Know. Yeah, people pop for fucking Hayden Christensen, who everybody fucking hated when he showed up in Ahsoka. Because, guess what? All the fucking dust settled. The stink lifted from the prequels in general. And people were like, oh shit, this is fucking dope. And now he's having a fucking renaissance. Ahmed Best is doing fucking something for Star Wars now. This guy got fucking death threats.
I don't ever see that happening for the threequels, though. The dust settled.
Honestly, I feel like people are like people are high on Daisy Ridley. You know what I mean? Because
yeah, but John Boyega.
John Boyega was like, I don't want anything to do with this anymore. John Boyega's like the Harrison Ford of like the sequel trilogy.
Which you would think like, Oscar Isaac would be.
Why, Tom? Why is that?
Well, no, like just like
he's the scoundrel and he's the one that's going to turn on everybody still.
Well, yeah, that's
all right.
No. Any fucking way. What's your plan?
My plan. This is very well written.
Yeah, I see that.
You ready for it?
Uh-huh.
I gotta pee.
Okay. Back on this bullshit.
All right. So here we go. This is my plan to save the the Sony Spider-Man films. And obviously any input you have, Tom, I will appreciate. Ignore mostly, but whatever. No, I'm kidding. Kind of.
You'll just edit it
I
out.
think the main thing, what we need to accomplish, like I said, people want to ape the MCU without going through the same growing pains as the MCU.
Mm-hmm.
So you got to redo that formula. That's how it goes. You need to make Norman the Sony Spider-Man films Thanos. Him manipulating politics, him manipulating underground crime and global supervillainy. Like, he has to have... you need a threat.
Mm-hmm.
You need to have a reason why you need to care to go to all these movies. You know what I mean? Like, that's what I think one of the goals is. Okay? So, a little background that I'm working through.
Marloon involved.
Morloon? Oh, I didn't even think of Morloon. So a little background. This is the background I set myself up for these. I have some movie ideas, okay? Morbius, right now, because obviously everybody remembers Morbius, the post-credits scene, that is with a Michael Keaton universe-shifted Vulture, okay? Mm-hmm. Morbius is with a universe-shifted Vulture for reasons I will not ever bring up, because that's dumb. Resolve this in Edge of Spider-Verse. Like, I don't care.
Sure.
Get that off screen.
Get that off screen.
Put Vulture back in whatever the MCU is to be in a prison. I don't care. Like, I feel like it's a thread nobody needs. Get this out. Sure. No. Dumb. Post Craven. Craven will just be a loner after the events of his movies, maybe a cameo here and there. I picture him as like a socialite. You know, like he'll kind of have like one foot in this dark hunting world and another being like a rich...
Which is what he
is, exactly. Kind of like, there's some Batman rogue that's similar to that. Isn't there? There's got to be. I remember Puma, who doesn't go to this, but Puma's like a fucking millionaire who turns into a Catman. I'm not saying Kraven's going to turn into a Catman, but I'm going to say, like, Kraven can be like a Bruce Wayne and a Batman, but no mask, and he's also kind of a bad guy.
Puma?
You don't remember Puma?
From Marvel?
Yeah, from Marvel.
Like...
He was like some Native American, indigenous, like, socialite.
Wolverine was wearing his costume for a bit.
Kinda, yeah. That's as far as that goes.
Probably fucking killed him.
Okay, cool. But I want Kraven to end like that. You know what I mean? Like, I want him to be like, you know, him, you know, with the fucking rich people, but also he's fucking busting heads in alleys. I'm saying at the end of his movie, he meets Norman Osborn at some sort of gala. Okay, cool.
A presidential gala.
No, we're not there yet.
Oh.
I still want it to be...
Mayor gala.
No, because, like...
Governor.
I mean, we know this universe is different because Vulture transferred into it. So sure, he could be mayor. But he's not... That's not planning out in my scope right now, okay? The Web Spinners, which is what I'm referring to as the Madam Web crew, okay? They have existed in the shadows. Yeah, I'm spinning some webs. They've existed in the shadows since the movie takes place in 2003, apparently. And they're just focusing on being a team, you know? Like, so they're doing shit, you know?
So, it happens 2 years after?
Yes. Oh. I know. 2 years worse.
Oh, man.
We've never recovered.
You
never forget, never recover.
You thought 2001 was bad in New York?
Alright, so this is so my Venom 3 idea, which might be very loaded, but we'll get there. Venom 3 won't do...
You're talking about Madam Web being loaded.
No, I've unloaded with Madam Web. I'm loading back up with Venom 3. Venom 3.
What the fuck?
So this is what I have written down in my notes. Venom 3 won't do it null. Because apparently, I think there's people who are thinking, Sony, stop. Just sit down. You can't do null.
You're fucking
stop.
drunk.
You're drunk. Sit down. Hand me your keys. Sit down. Sleep it off. Not going to do it null, but I'll tease him. He'll be teased very lightly. Because, like, you know, kind of like how in Marvel Spider-Man 2, with the whole, like, Venom was a space rock. Got it. But, like, the spiral. Oh, my God. What's going on? Like, there's something else. You know what I mean? Like, that's as much hint as I want out of Venom 3, okay? I want to introduce Dylan Brock. His son. You son of a bitch. I want to introduce with that... True, yeah. Predator. Not a sexual predator. because I want to deal with the dichotomy of the symbiote almost like acting like what the fuck, who is this kid? You know what I mean? Like, I want him to be like, no. And if it deals with how they dealt with Dylan Brock in the comics was that the symbiote repressed the idea of Dylan even existing because the symbiote was like, no, Eddie, you're mine. You know what I mean? I don't want you to be taken away by anybody. It also deals with Dylan being special because Eddie was with the symbiote when he banged fucking what's her face, Annie. So there's something in play there.
So he injected some venom into her.
Something like that, yes. Because the symbiote knows that there's bigger things involved, aka the Venomverse. Okay?
What has 8 legs and is coming inside of you? Venom.
Oh boy.
Venom.
Toxin's also here because they tease that in the Let There Be Carnage. It's not a big thing.
Did they?
Yeah, they did.
I kind of blanked out Let There Be Carnage.
Fine, that's fine. So the plot I have though is more Life Foundation stuff, and it's pushing Eddie to be more of a hero.
Done with that.
Well, no, I want it to be more of like how Lethal Protector was. I want it to be more humans
that makes sense,
against Venom instead of fucking other. No more Life Foundation symbiotes. Okay, no, I want it to just be humans against Venom, and then this pushes Eddie to become more of a real hero. You know, instead of being just like, eating chickens. Like I want him to just be like, no, I want to be a fucking like if we want to make him the Spider-Man. Analogy or something. If you want him to be the Spider-Man in this non-Spider-Man movie, then he's going to have to be a fucking hero. You know what I mean? Like,
sure.
I think the whole '90s of eating brains or stuff like I'm over that. You know what I mean? Like, I don't think that defines him. That was him. That's not him anymore.
Eat a brain? Did we ever see
in the movie?
In the comics?
I have no idea. I'm sure Todd McFarlane probably did something. Yeah. So that's over and done with. But at the end of this movie, the Life Foundation is absorbed by Oscorp. Okay? We also find out that the Carnage symbiote survived it. Okay? So, like, the Life Foundation has it, but it's, like, dormant. You know what I mean? It's kind of, like, just fucking, like, dead. But they kept it, because who knows? All right. So, going forward now, my ideas. There was a movie that was planned called Silver and Black. Now, there's a YouTube video out there. I sent it to Tommy. Did you watch it?
A little bit.
Cool.
Most of it.
It's put out by a YouTube channel called Hemmas Studios, HEMMAS Studios.
You know me when it involves YouTubers. I barely listen to them.
All right, but Tom, I vet things for you. If it's good,
I understand. I watched most of it.
Okay. It talks about it's called Silver and Black, the best Spider-Man spin-off never made, and I guess it's a Canned Goods is the sub series that he puts out. Long story short, it's a team-up movie that deals with and introduces Silver Sable, which is a character who's like, why? But okay, whatever.
Sure.
And Black Cat.
Right.
And a lot of it has to do with Silver Sable being a mercenary, like she is in the comics and everything else, other sort of media, and Black Cat being more of a hacker, thief sort of thing, more of like a digital thief instead of like a jewel thief.
Felicity Jones was going to play her.
Well, in the Amazing Spider-Man movies, yes, correct. That's a missed opportunity right there. I agree. But
really, that doesn't get a point. You're fucking.
Felicity Jones is all right. You know what I'd cast? Alexandra Daddario. And Felicity Jones. Little Jen Arso action. I got you. But the plot is it's a little bit of time skippy stuff because it deals with the young Silver Sable growing up with her dad and like the Wild Pack, the mercenary group.
And her father's Kraven.
No, her father has nothing to do with Kraven. I mean, unless it turns into that, but I don't think it does. And it turns out that Mendel Strom, which is a comic book character, Oscorp employee, is doing genetic alterations to human beings. 2 in particular, one man known as the Scorpion, which for this, maybe we'll call him, maybe we'll just call him like a Spider Slayer or something like that. You know what I mean? Like Scorpion, if we want to do a Matt Gargan, already kind of existing sort of maybe in the MCU. Not really, whatever. It could also be another Scorpion, which is very possible. And Tarantula. They're kind of like the two big heavies, the Bebop and the Rocksteady of these movies. But it kind of goes a back and forth with Silver Sable and Black Cat's daddy issues. How Silver Sable's dad got killed in action. Black Cat's father is imprisoned by Silver Sable. So there's a lot of like... And Black Cat also has superpowers, which is very much in line with how Sony does shit. Sure. Like, just make him superhero. Like, got it. I think their recap and their playthrough of the movie is well done, and it would be a movie I'd like to see because it deals with a lot of characters in the Spider-Man universe that are like, fine, go ahead, throw Tombstone in it. Who cares? Throw these oddball characters. It doesn't matter because it's not, Sony wants to shoot, like I said, for the stars with their Cravens. They're very marketable characters. Right. And Madam Web, apparently. And, like, that's where they fall on their face. Go ahead, Tommy.
So, this Strom dude, I would probably have changed his name because us as children of the 90s, I would have definitely worked Silvermane into there.
Silvermane?
Well, Spider Slayers, you say.
Smythe, you mean.
Smythe, that's
Smythe.
what I
Smythe comes into play. Don't get me wrong. So,
all right, sorry.
So I would say
Don't
Nation...
want to steamroll you.
No, it's fine. It's okay. I'm owed it, I suppose.
A lot.
I would say, Nation, check out this recap of what this movie could have been, Silver and Black, the best Spider-Man spinoff never made, on YouTube. So what I'm going to take from this movie is that movie pretty much all wholesale. I will include the fact that Strom is an Osborn employee. At the end of the movie, Osborn is able to bail out or rescue or whatever Strom. So Strom still exists. And Osborn gets Strom to help him with the Goblin formula. Okay, so now we're putting in little bits of, Osborn growing his empire, his persona. Okay? All right. A thing Sony loves to do is they love to make these marketable villains or known characters. They want to make them heroes because clearly they have no more heroes in the Spider-Man universe. Obviously, right? That's why we got to move Venom and Morbius and Kraven the Hunter, right? So let's lean into this. I call this movie the Superior Foes. Okay, you want to deal with fucking no-name villains that want to try to be good guys? You have this. It's called the Superior Foes of Spider-Man. I'm just calling them the Superior Foes because I don't know if you can use Spider-Man in these movies. The name, the title, And we're going to be featuring 5 of them. Boomerang, Big Wheel, Speed Demon, Beetle, Lady Beetle, and White Rabbit. All very toyetic, very low-stakes, C-list villains. Yes, Tommy? Go ahead.
You said Big Wheel. I was like...
Yeah, Big Wheel is a doofy character that fans will be like, oh my god, it's Big... I love Big Wheel. Nobody loves Big Wheel. Are you out of your mind? But... There you go. There's Big Wheel, everybody.
I swear to God, we better get Stiltman and Daredevil born again.
You might. But this, I'm kind of framing this. Everybody also loves to do their Suicide Squad rip-off movies, Guardians of the Galaxy rip-off movies. This is it. It's low stakes though. You're not gonna, Suicide Squad went hard with the violence and the killing of their compatriots.
Right.
You're not getting that.
No.
It's basic. The premise is these 5 villains are banded together. They're all hired to do to steal money from a company. It's Oscorp.
No.
By some dude, which turns out to be Chameleon, which I think shows up in Silver and Black and Craven. I'm gonna put him in Craven.
Strom is Chameleon.
No. So here it is. A low-stakes Suicide Squad that don't die. Down on their luck, C-listers band together for a heist planned by some dude, it's really Chameleon, on a high-tech firm, it's really Oscorp. But I want them to be so, like they're villains. They're banging their heads against the wall, and they're like, I'm like, I guess I'll try to be a good guy, you know what I mean? So that's what they end up doing. Like, they end up, instead of taking the money from Oscorp and giving it to Chameleon, they end up reinvesting it into some fucking town they live in. You know what I mean? Like the borough of the city or whatever. You know what I mean? Because they all live there. They're like, this is fucking shitty. This is shitty life. Why am I giving this money to fuck this Peter to feed Paul when fuck Paul? I need to eat. You know what I mean? Like, have them all kind of band together. Boomerang, I feel, is kind of almost the star. All the other characters are a little ancillary. White Rabbit will be, like, your Harley Quinn light version. I'm not saying hardcore Harley Quinn, but, like, the more, you know, like, oh, she's eccentric. She also doesn't have powers. She's just kind of smart. You know what I mean? So she's kind of out of place.
Right.
Big Wheel's just there. Speed Demon can be the fucking dickhead speedster, because there's always a dickhead speedster. And Beetle's the techie one. You know what I mean?
You gotta say high flyer.
I mean, she is a high flyer. So they basically give the money back to the city, kind of like Robin Hood. In the process of this whole heist, they fight Smythe and the Spider Slayers. So that's where you get them. Okay? And I'm saying, like, those weird alien-looking Spider Slayers, like in, like, the old video game.
Yeah.
Like some weird shit. Not like the animated series. I mean, you could call them Spider Slayers. Yeah. The tarantula and the scorpion sort of look, which...
Yeah.
Hey, that might actually be a cool callback. At the end, though, Osborn is pissed, sends for his Goblin Knight, a.k.a. Hobgoblin, and the Carnage symbiote goes missing. So that's your whole post-credit situation. And I'm talking about Goblin Knight, like the Paul Uric Hobgoblin, with, like, the sword and stuff, because I think that's, like...
That's actually my favorite look.
That's a pretty good look. Don't get me wrong. Like, that's fucking... Yeah. Instead of orange, green Goblin, this guy looks fucking dope. You know what I mean? All right? Okay.
Where does the Golden Goblin come in?
No, you will actually...
We're still going?
Yeah.
SmackDown's on in 30 minutes.
Who gives a shit? I'm talking. I have here right now, speaking of the tribe, I have here a Spider-Man movie, a Spider-Man noir movie happens.
Okay.
Because I know that was in the works or something. It's just a multiverse movie. It has no direct tie-ins, except it might reference the Spider Tribe. Like, that's it. Because apparently that's what Madame Web has also. I don't fucking know. But it talks about the mysticism of the spider people. Whatever. Doesn't matter. I think it was a very interesting part in Spider-Man Noir. I mean, that's how Spider-Man Noir got his powers.
That's why Marloon's going to be involved in Kraven the Hunter.
Honestly? Maybe. Alright. Sequel to Silver and Black.
Okay. Silver and Gold.
Black and Gold.
Oh.
Yeah. Because it's more... I want to focus more on Black Cat.
Gotcha,
I think Silver Sable... I think Black Cat's a little more marketable. Black Cat's way more well-known, I would have to say. Premise. Black Cat is investigating a missing people.
Okay.
And it's related to Oscorp. Okay? During this whole process, she's ambushed by the Hobgoblin, but is rescued by Gold Goblin.
Oh,
right?
shit.
Lots of flirting going on, and Gold Goblin is like a hero. Like, he's like the hero's hero. You know what I mean? Turns out it's actually Norman, which is like a big surprise to the audience, I'd imagine. You know, but everybody's like, oh, I know who Gold Goblin is. We don't know that as movie watchers.
Right.
Because we are thinking Norman Osborn's a bad boy. And now we see him being, like, superhero. Like, what the fuck's going on, okay? Turns out it's kind of like a smoke and mirror situation. Like, he's doing all this bad stuff with Hobgoblin, so Gold Goblin can come in and look good.
Yeah.
I'm really aping the plot of Far From Home, but that's a tale as old as time. As far as villains, Thunderbolts, that's villains looking their best while also doing machinations in the background, okay? Turns out they do a lot of flirting, so, you know, gives Black Cat a little bit of stakes, like, ooh, who's this guy, you know? Turns out it's Norman orchestrating it and fictionalizing all his heroics. But he's, like, twisted in the mind where he's like, no, I need to, you know, like, all these, all his machinations are for the greater good, sort of thing. You know, he's not doing it for money. He's doing it because he thinks he's on the right side of history. Like, he's that twisted. Kind of like if Tony Stark, to mirror that, wasn't like, I'm going to give up all the weapons. Like, he's like, no, I need all the weapons because I need to protect everybody. You know, like, shit like that, okay? Black Cat foils his plot, but turns out he dies, air quotes. Nobody really dies. Also, the missing people was an Oscorp plot, like I said. Norman. Okay. So Norman's been taking the Goblin formula, okay? But he only has got one chance to do it. He also, for whatever reason, maybe the formula, maybe just his shitty dick, he can't reproduce.
His shitty dick.
So he needs clones.
Oh.
So Hobgoblin is actually his clone / son. Hobgoblin is the all the bad parts of the Goblin formula.
Okay.
Like, he's mutated and shit, whereas Norman gets all the good shit. The strength, the agility, the fucking power, okay?
So it's Harry.
Well, the Hobgoblin is Harry. Is
right.
air quotes Harry. It doesn't have to be Harry, but it's, you know, he can refer to him as my son or whatever,
right.
blah, blah, blah. And all the missing people were just genetic material that Miles Warren needed for this thing, right?
Goddamn Miles Warren.
Norman survives, obviously, because it's a comic book movie. But he ODs on Goblin formula and goes insane, but he doesn't turn into full-on Green Goblin. I think Green Goblin is a Spider-Man villain, like a Peter Parker villain. But you can have Norman Osborn terrorize, like he did, the Marvel Universe as a whole, or this dumb fucking universe that we're in right now. Okay? So I don't want him to... I don't want the switch to flip. I don't want to see Green Goblin unless I'm seeing Spider-Man, is what I'm saying.
Okay.
I'll see Norman Osborn all day, all night.
Gotcha.
Much like when Stacy did that one night. But, yep.
Never happened.
Yeah, you're right, it never did. At the end, though, Black Cat meets up with the Web Spinners, and the Web Spinners have a new apprentice, Silk. Okay, now we have some stakes. All right.
Okay.
All right, here we go. You ready for this? This is my Infinity War Endgame situation. Venom, Maximum Carnage.
Okay.
All right. I'm just gonna read this as I go, and you can stop me as I go.
I could have stopped you like
you could have stopped me at any point. You could have hit me with this beer bottle. All right, Carnage.
Trying to let you talk yourself out.
Talking about Spider-Man, baby. Let's talk about Spider-Man related properties.
Carnage
is reborn.
Talk about food. I'm looking at food.
That's fine. Carnage is reborn by space magic, and learns of the Venomverse that we talked about in Venom 3.
Venom.
And the real Chaos God. Not talking about Null, but he knows that there's a higher power. Right. Okay, that's it. That's all. As far as I'm going. Dylan is in New York City, and Carnage kidnaps him to draw out Venom because he knows that Dylan is some sort of codex to the Venomverse.
Okay.
We've read Absolute Carnage. It has a little bit of hints of that, where he needs these symbiote powers to help draw out this bigger power.
Okay. Yes.
During this whole kidnapping, hostage situation, the Web Spinners see this and try to stop Carnage, but Anya and Maddie are injured. That's not Sydney Sweeney's character. So not the Julia Carpenter Spider-Woman. Right. Those are the other two. Venom travels to San Francisco.
It's not the one you care about.
That's absolutely... I mean, Isabella Merced is pretty good.
It's not the one you care about.
Latina, baby. Venom travels from San Francisco to New York City to rescue Dylan, only because I want that bit in Maximum Carnage, where just like he sees like on a TV that, you know, Carnage has apprehended some tourist or some shit, and you get like him just fucking freaking out at an airport. You know what I mean? Like I think that'd be good. This has a lot of Maximum Carnage, Absolute Carnage. You know,
Cloak and Dagger from the Who. So
that's the thing, bro. Like I think there's still too tied into MCU. That's why I'm like, I guess I have to play with these toys and not those toys. But don't get me wrong, if I could get Marvel Studios money, I would do a fucking Maximum Carnage movie. But this is also dealing with no Tom Holland, Peter Parker, Spider-Man.
We may get a Maximum Carnage.
I hope so.
In fucking MCU.
So Venom rescues Dylan. Carnage slinks away to find more family because he realized he's just outnumbered. Okay. He goes to Oscorp with his new godlike powers, okay? And now he's got the power. This is how I'm picturing this. He can bestow symbiote powers to other characters, okay? Carnage. Okay. So he sees Miles Warren. Miles Warren is like, all right, listen, here's the deal. you're a geneticist. You clone people. You create life. You're going to create death now. He gives him effectively carrion powers, but we're going to call him Jackal. Jackal, god of death. So he's going to be... I don't know how he's going to look. I don't know how these all characters are going to look, but they're going to be similar to their Maximum Carnage.
Horrible.
Yeah, exactly. But he has a death touch. A la Carrion, but Miles Warren. There's still a lot of creation there. Goblin Knight, Hobgoblin, still around. All right, you were fighting for evil. You're going to fight for good now. And he's now kind of like he becomes Demo Goblin. So he's kind of like how Demogoblin was very religious sects. He's going to be like he's the knight for air quotes and all, but whatever. He's going to be thinking he's on some sort of religious quest to basically in lines with what Demogoblin's whole character is all about. Realizes that the Life Foundation, Oscorp through the Life Foundation, still has Shriek on ice. Symbiote's Shriek turns her into Scream.
Okay.
Because again, I think if the video game is any indication, people love Scream, so fine, why not? Also, if you're going to power up Shriek, and just make her scream. Whatever, it doesn't matter. They realize they need one more person. They get a random body out of these cloning vats. Turns that character into Demogoblin, doppelganger.
Okay.
So you have a 6-armed, technically 8-legged.
I thought doppelganger came from the Infinity.
Correct, but we can't use that. So we're just going to have Carnage have these magical powers that turn these characters into whatever I want them to be. That's what that comes into.
Not magical powers. Powers granted to him by Null.
Yes. Yes, you're right, Tom. I'm sorry. Didn't mean to belittle Null's amazing powers. You're right. So basically the Carnage family, you have the Carnage family now, okay? Over on the
fucking worst Brady Bunch ever.
Absolutely, yeah. Over on the other side, Venom informs the web spinners, that whole crew, of what's up, and listen, we gotta fight Carnage. This is the Carnage's weaknesses: sound and fire. Cool. We're gonna go to an Oscorp warehouse to kind of get some fucking weapons, okay?
They're called the Web Knights now.
No, not Web Knights. I don't call them because they're not a team. They're just a cadre of superheroes.
We're some sort of squad.
some sort of Suicide Squad. Yuck. Will Smith, you should have gotten slapped for that. So while they're going to get these weapons, they get attacked by the Carnage family, right? And they're on the fucking ropes. Except now they actually get reinforced by the superior foes. Because now they see what's going on. They're they come to the same conclusion. Because they're kind of they're 5 brains put together, basically. 6, because I'm introducing a new character. They see what happened in San Francisco with Let There Be Carnage. They're like, okay, we need literal firepower, and we need Sonics. Cool, we'll go to this warehouse. They just happen to be in the wrong place at the wrong time. Or right time, I guess. So now we're dealing, again, the foes, in this case, Boomerang, Speed Demon, Big Wheel, Beetle, White Rabbit, and a new character. Okay? Which will be revealed. It's going to be a twist. Guys kind of suited up head to toe, really good with firearms. The foes get fucking decimated because they're just people, you know what I mean? So, the way I wrote it was that, Jackal, Death Grip, Speed Demon. The way I picture this is Speed Demon, cocky, kind of literally running circles around Jackal. Mm-hmm. Jackal does that one move in Spider-Man 2 where it's just like a urchin, punctures Speed Demon, grabs him, turns him into dust. Done. Okay?
Okay.
What I think this does is this kind of raises the stakes for the Carnage, and you're oh shit, these guys are fucking serious, you know what I mean? Demogoblin decapitates Beetle, Screaming Doppelganger, beat the shit out of fucking Big Wheel. This new guy, though, with gun expertise, fucking, he's able to use the flame guns and the sonic guns, whatever, to kind of get the Carnage family to surrender and run away. He is introduced as Eugene, but his friends call him Flash. This is this universe's Flash Thompson. Okay? Cool. So the Venom crew, the Web Knights, are licking their wounds. A lot of blood everywhere. Brings in Dr. Michael Morbius. He's just I think you guys need some help. And that's how that one ends. Okay? So the heroes are on their fucking heels, but they might have a little bit of a one-up. Okay?
Okay.
Venom, King in Black. This is what this one's called, alright? So now Venom realizes that Carnage is super duper powered. Alright. I'll pause it. I'd like you to hear this.
Okay.
Alright. So Venom, King in Black. Okay? This is my ultimate way to save this Sony movie franchise, and then hopefully by this time Marvel just Disney just buys Sony. I know I'm against corporations, but I mean, this is what you got. This is what I'm dealing with. These are the toys I've been given. So Venom realizes that Carnage is like fucking super duper powerful. So he's like, I need to tap into the same Venomverse source or whatever to be just as strong, okay? Right. And then he realizes that, you know, learning to love this son that he just found out he had or whatever and protect him gives him kind of like the boost he needs. Think like Dragon Ball Z, like how like Goku just kind of moves up in power levels a little bit after just, I don't know, getting his ass kicked.
After giving what his opponent an AS and Super.
No, that's not Venom's MO. But like it just he's just like, wow, shit, I gotta get more powerful, okay? So what they want to do is so Venom thinks that he's strong enough, so he's like, all right, here's the deal. I want to kind of call out Carnage, you know, as a truce, you know, like, you know, symbiote to symbiote, you know, father to son, and also my other son's here. Let's do this, right? Because they think he's dumb. But Carnage is like, no, I'm fucking nuts. This is where we reintroduce Toxin. Okay. Toxin's mind controlled because Carnage also has like he's tapped in more into the Venomverse. Like they've gotten stronger just exponentially.
Right.
Because Carnage is kind of doing almost like what they did in Marvel Spider-Man 2, with like a whole Planet of the Symbiotes thing, where it's like the more symbiotes, the stronger you get. Okay.
Okay.
So he brings in Toxin, who ends up fighting Venom. Flash is there because Venom was like, I'll do this by myself, but Flash, as a military man, a background man, you know, he was like, I want to get in there too. He needs some backup. I have the sonic weapons, I have the fire weapons. Let's do this. Right. Carnage fucking kills him.
Kills his Flash.
And he goes after Dylan, but then that basically causes Venom to kind of go Super Saiyan a little bit.
Okay.
And then that's where he reaches his true power, okay? He's able to absorb the Toxin symbiote from that fucking cop guy, whatever. And then he's able to, you know, he basically attacks Carnage. Carnage is by himself, by the way. There's no other, you know, his family's not here. Yeah, there's no Carnage family with him right now. So he's able to basically attack Carnage, and then Carnage just kind of flees because he's like, I killed your guy, whatever. Venom bestows the symbiote to Flash, who gets revived, and he becomes Agent Anti-Venom.
Okay.
I feel like calling him Agent Venom's a little on the nose. I gotta give him his own little powers.
I hate the look of Agent Anti-Venom.
It doesn't have to, listen, it doesn't have to be the same look, but it's the same idea.
Yeah.
You know, like he basically has symbiote destroying powers.
The white on black.
I think it's pretty dope, but alright. I'm wrong.
I didn't say you were wrong.
You were thinking it, though, heavily.
I just said your opinion is silly.
You didn't say that. I know for a fact you didn't.
Alright, well, I am now.
Okay. So, basically, at the head of Oscorp HQ is like a big fucking symbiote hive, okay?
Okay, like in Spider-Man 2.
Exactly. Okay. It's a big planet of the symbiote, sort of bula bula.
Bula bula bula.
So there's going to be a big battle there. What ends up happening is that Venom obliterates Carnage. Maybe give him like a whole like the Sentry ripping him in half, or how Null ripped Sentry in half. You know, just have him like fucking like, you know, like, oh, he's fucking done. So you know what I mean? This basically causes all the Carnage powered symbiotes to just revert. Scream turns back into Shriek. Shrieks. Thank you. I'm not the Iron Sheik. Yeah.
Or the Sheik.
Or Sabu? Yeah, did Sheik do this?
Well,
Sabu did that.
Sabu did that, pointing up to his uncle.
Did he?
Sheik, yeah.
He didn't do that before Sheik died?
No.
Sure?
Oh.
Alright. I was thinking Sheik from Zelda.
I only know fucking Sabu from doing that.
I don't know if we still... Because, like, Shriek's whole MO in the Venom movies...
It's just wanting to fuck Carnage.
Right, so if Carnage isn't around, like, do I just depower her and she's just a human? I think she just kind of dies again.
Just kill her. Not worth it.
It basically, like... So Jackal reverts back to Miles Warren. Demogoblin turns into, like, a weird... It turns into Harry, but he's, like, not powered. You know, it basically removes everything. You know what I mean? Like, Goblin powers is done. He's basically just a human being now, depowered, right. Okay? Or maybe it gives him powers, I'm not sure. Again, I'm just saying. The doppelganger reverts back, though, however, to a young man. Looks a lot like Tom Holland. Goes by the name Ben Reilly. This was my plot to get Ben Reilly in. Not really. I thought, as I was going through this, I was like, oh, that'd be a cool thing. Because think about this.
Actually, no, I actually dig that.
Because think about this.
Either that or Kane.
Right. Sure. Like, so here's your deal. Now, Spider-Man, you can cast Tom Holland now. He's not Peter Parker. You know what I mean? You can have a Spider-Man character who's not Peter Parker.
I really fucking like that.
And then you can kill him off, whatever. But then I have, like, post-credit things.
Yeah,
so like,
come back.
The way this ends off is like we saved the world, yay. Mm-hmm. What else happens? Like, okay, Null, air quotes, knows about Earth, knows about Venom, knows about all this other shit. Is he gonna come attack Earth?
Do I get the dragon wings?
You get winged Venom, absolutely, in these movies.
Okay, good.
Absolutely. Maybe...
See, I honestly thought, when you said that the superior foes were coming, or whatever the fuck you called them...
Superior foes, yeah.
Like, I thought you were going to say, like, the Golden Goblin was coming to... was, like, leading the charge.
Oh, no. I think no, Gold Goblin was out after Golden Black.
Okay.
Like, he was killed... But not really.
Right.
He also has part of the Carnage symbiote because of course, so you can do like a Red Goblin thing.
So in credits we're getting Red Goblin.
You might. Again, I think like Absolute Carnage. Again, we got in the comics, we got Red Goblin and then we got Absolute Carnage.
Yeah.
So like, if we're leading with Absolute Carnage, like what does Red Goblin do? Plus, Red Goblin's whole thing was that
but if we're making
he was Green Goblin and Carnage. But if we're taking the Green Goblin aspect away, like is it even that?
Yeah, but
I think that's for the fans to be like, oh my god, Red Goblin. Whatever.
Yeah, but the Goblin fluid has been introduced.
That's correct. Yes, but again, I don't know what I want to do. Again, like I said, I think if I see Green Goblin,
by Marvel, and it's going to get destroyed.
100%. It's
going to get woked.
God damn it. But so now I think what that does is that leaves Sony into a spot where... Oh, I'm sorry, the Venom wings. Maybe that's what Venom's new power... Maybe when he gets the wings, he thinks that, like, oh, I've reached my full potential. But then that's not true, and then he turns Super Saiyan, and then he gets, like, almost like the axe and the god powers, you know, like he got in King in Black.
I like it.
You say about the superior foes. I think the superior foes could be, like, lighthearted... Because again, it's like there's no state. Like, who gives a shit about Boomerang and Speed Demon? Like, who cares? Like,
well, Peter Parker would because Boomerang.
We don't have Peter Parker. That's
but Peter Parker and Boomerang.
I know. I get it.
Were roommates.
That's why it's tough to like get anything for Boomerang.
If we get a Boomerang,
that's why I didn't even do Shocker because we've seen Shocker.
Yeah, if we get a Boomerang Peter Parker like roommate thing in the MCU.
You probably will. Like, I don't even know the Boomerang's fucking secret identity. So, you know, you might get him. I don't think that's true. I don't think you're just lying to me. But, like, I think that would be very funny.
I said it was such a conviction.
Like, have Boomerang might be, like, the leader of the guy, like, come on, I'm fucking tired of living in this one fucking shitty apartment, maybe with this one college kid. You know, like, they can reference it. You know what I mean? And, like, I'm tired of fucking, like, you know, living fucking check to check. This is ridiculous. Big Wheel's like maybe like your Wheelman. Like, I don't know. I'm combining his powers with, like, Rad Racer. Sure. And Overdrive.
Or WizKid.
Fine. WizKid?
Yeah. He was, Power Pack, but he was part of the Exterminators.
I know. The crippled Asian kid?
Yeah.
Speed Demon is your...
You can make him a Crip.
Like Crip Walk? Crip? Or
no,
Cripple?
Like Cripple.
Oh. Speed Demon, like I said, is like you're kind of like your... Like, come on. What are you doing, guys? Come on.
I hate Speedsters.
Like all the worst parts of Speedsters.
I fucking hate Speedsters.
Yeah, no, I agree with you.
Like the Speedster
guess who kills him off?
Like the Speedster from Invincible.
The kid Speedster or the older one?
The one that was like dating Adam Eve.
Oh, the younger one, yeah.
Or was he like... Or did he explode... Like, have explosion powers. No, he was a Speedster.
He had explosion powers.
Oh.
Regardless.
Explosion power people are usually, like, up there with Speedsters, where they're just kind of dickheads.
Gotcha.
Where they're explosive.
The Beetle is just there, like, whatever, I'm here for a paycheck. White Rabbit, everyone's like, well, you got rabbit powers, right? You've been bit by a rabbit? Is that what we do now? Rabbit's like, she's like, no, I like Alice in Wonderland.
Yeah.
Everybody's like, what are you even doing here?
Yeah.
Like, she's like, I think she has the chance to be like the funny part.
Right?
Or moon shoes or some shit.
Like, I don't know. The Batman one.
Probably.
Batman also had a white
rabbit character? Sure.
Yeah.
She's just smart, but not like super smart. Like, she's smarter than these fucking five. You know what I mean? Like that's what she has, and she's like, I don't know. And like I think she has a chance to be funny. Boomerang is like, we're gonna call ourselves the Sinister Six. It's like there's 5 of us. It's like, shut up. Like just let me have this.
We're the Lone Rangers.
Exactly. Yeah. Like he's kind of like the doof, but he's like he's got these delusions of grandeur, but not like humbling. Not like yes, we're the best team ever. And it's like yeah, no, we're pretty good. Whatever. You know, like he's just like I just want to get paid and do good. Like that's it. Like I think that is very relatable. Mm-hmm. And like I said, none of them really. Speed Demon has like powers. That's it. Yeah. Everyone else is kind of like, I have a cool suit, or I have fucking a big wheel. Like, I have magic boomerangs, or whatever the fuck boomerang is. Anyway, that's how
Hot Wheels, get over here.
That's how I would save. That's how we would save the Sony Spider-Man movies. There's no saving them though. So really Amy Pascal, Avi Arad, when you're done kissing each other's butts, because Chris Miller and Phil Lord made some good movies, and you're when that Kevin Feige check dries up, you know, give us a call. We got some ideas.
Yeah,
the first ones ever. I would have to say, Tom, you were the first one ever to give Sony ideas on how to save the Marvel movies, their Spider-Man movies.
I mean, I had another idea.
What is it?
Just stop and let Marvel handle it.
No, they have the rights.
Just stop and let Marvel handle it.
And on that note, RudeNation, thank you for joining us. Somehow these Spider-Man episodes just take up a lot of our time. Anyway, next episode of the RudeBoyz Power Hour Plus. I had this on the list, Tommy.
What the fuck are we doing next episode?
Well, I'm telling you right now.
I didn't look.
We are not going to do a Wrestle Special. We'll have plenty of Wrestle Special retro rewatches leading up for WrestleMania 40 coming up this month. This marvelous, magical month of March.
How come we don't watch WrestleMania 40?
Because it's right now March 1st. Right. So we've got Wrestle Specials leading up to that. However, we're going to do a regular RudeBoyz Power Hour Plus for wrestling theme songs. I feel like that's too many Wrestle Specials. It's at least 3. And I want to do that trivia show, but like I don't know if I can coordinate all that.
I'm getting so high for the second night of fucking WrestleMania.
Good for you. You should. I'd love that for you.
Whether you're in New York or not.
Right, I will probably not be in New York.
I am getting so fucking high. If you are in New York,
you're also getting very high.
You're more than welcome to come by and
watch my high ass.
And watch my high ass try to barbecue.
That's fine.
I've done that, and I dropped burgers on the floor, and Loki was the happiest fucking dog.
That was very funny. So we got some wrestling related episodes coming up to you, RudeNation. Wrestle Special retro rewatches for WrestleManias 10, 20, and 30. And next episode of the RudeBoyz Power Hour Plus, wrestling theme songs. Let us know, Nation. Let us know your favorite wrestling theme songs. We'll talk about that. We'll reach out to you on the Instagram, on our social media platforms. Also, in coordination with this episode, what other sort of Spider-Man, air quotes, can't really use Spider-Man, ideas do you have for movies? You know? Obviously, the easy out would be put fucking Spider-Man in these movies, but we can't. And so, it's the deal. But that's what this whole exercise was for. But again, thank you for joining us for this 2+ hour, almost 2.5 episode. 2.5 hour episode of the RudeBoyz Power Hour Plus. You can find us on our social media platforms. Just go to linktr, linktr.ee/RudeBoyz. And all our social media platforms are there. Our Facebook, our X account, Blue Sky. I put that on there? I did put that on there. Threads. Instagram is the big one. Instagram.com/RudeBoyz469.
Are you personally on Blue Sky?
I think so. I think I made a personal account too while I was there. But I haven't touched it since. That's social media, baby. We're burnt out, bro. Twitter and Instagram hit, and then, I don't know, man. That's the young man's game. I try. Speaking of trying, TikTok and Twitch is on there too. Trying to fucking get there with the Utes. The 2 Utes.
2 Utes?
Yeah. 2 what?
The 2 what?
The 2
Love
defendants.
It. We had to do a RudeBoyz Go to the Movies and record that for first time watching with my sister-in-law.
Oh, right, yeah. She's never
seen my cousin Vinny.
But yeah, that's our social media platforms. Like I said, we have a Twitch and we have a YouTube page.
We have a YouTube?
We do, much all the young folk have. youtube.com/@RudeBoyz469. Thank you, that's what it is. It's on our link tree. Check it out.
You always say it every other 2 weeks.
As I said it, though, I'm like, does that make sense? Because I know the link tree is just RudeBoyz. I try to keep the brand similar, the RudeBoyz469. That's a rude number. Gotta say.
69.
That's it, baby. But thank you for listening to us on our beautiful podcast, which you can find on YouTube. You can also find it wherever you can get your podcasts. Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Stitcher, Spotify, TuneIn. But our Home Away from Home... I'm assuming the Sony Marvel movies has a universe designation. They must, right? Like a Earth something. Right? Because it was because the MCU has one.
Earth -69.
Yeah, it should be -69. Well, until we see Madam Web. Because right now it's +69.
It's -69.
But that is rudeboyz.podbean.com.
Drive that spider buggy into the bean.
I don't have a horn?
This fucking guy just ruined the whole thing. Because he had to fucking stop.
Honker.
Honka.
That's what I'll be doing in Madam Web.
Honka. Chris, the whole time watching Madam Web, he's just going to be at the screen just honka.
That's going to be you, guy, on fucking 2 edibles.
I might take 1. Maybe I'll take 2.
You should take 2.
Maybe I'll take the rest of the bag.
There you go. How many's in the bag? 1. If you want to hit me up...
there's 13 left.
No? Alright, listen. If you want to hit me up on social...
Why is Tom comatose?
He OD'd on gummies because he couldn't prep himself for Madam Web properly. If you want to hit me up on social media...
Take 2 shots as well.
There you go. I'm at Tesh Sherms. TEH_SHERMS.
If you want to get me, I'm Tommy_Cash. That's Cash with an 80. Fuck you, Pat McAfee.
Cash with an 80.
Fuck you, Wendy's. Fuck you both if you want to come at me. Which you want because you're a bunch of fucking pussies.
Yeah, fuck you, EA. Fuck you, Sony. Like, stop all this.
Yep.
Vote with your dollars, nation. Don't go see Madam Web. See our movies instead. They're way better.
Time to fucking break out the guillotine.
Wake up, nation. Eat the rich. Bye-bye.
This has been a presentation of the Rude Boys Podcast Network.
Oops.
My name is Kid. Ooh, that was pretty fucking good. Holy shit, I really hope he enjoys that. Because that shit was awesome. I held that pretty nice.